Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel the Lateej. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's going to clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's going to open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is going to protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is going to make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Lateej has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night. And because Lateej is a sponsor, they're offering my family 30% off along with a free gift. Just click that link that's in the description and feel the Lateej.
Wait. I know what you're going to say. I'm not a man and I don't have a beard, but he does. And so does he. I have 3 points for you that's going to help you grow your beard, and not just grow it, but hydrate it, allow it to come in healthy and shiny, and be able to groom it properly without all the flaking and the itchiness that sometimes comes with grooming the beard. Okay, number 1, be patient and consistent. Number 2, resist the urge to trim and shape your beard for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Number 3, don't hesitate to start now using products.
Just had to take a moment to see my beard looking so good. Man. I'll make sure y'all click that link.
Please tune in to our next video. We're going to give you more value, more information, and don't forget to purchase our products online at assuredmannaturals.com. There you can get 15% off when you use code Lapeef15, and we'll see you in the next video.
Let's just have a conversation.
How y'all doing, family? It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Let me go and introduce the crew. We got Trev Smooth, The Real Precious, Stacy O, Mr. Let Go, Casey, Sweetie, Andrea, Marcus White, Jasmine, myself, and Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk on the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
What up?
What it do?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
It's good to see you. Good to see you, Casey. Good to see you back.
Good to be seen, y'all. Good to be seen.
I know, right?
What up, Casey?
Hey.
Let's go ahead and get the show rolling, man. Shout out to the sponsor, Lateej Handling Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. So make sure you guys feel the Lateej. As you guys know, me and Sugar Curls have collabed, and we have brought you guys a beard product that you guys will love. Anybody that has pre-ordered, your orders will be shipping shortly. And for you guys that want to get you a Christmas gift, this will be the way to go. If you're looking to get something for your man, your sons, uncles, grandfathers, it's good for everybody. So make sure you guys, and it's multi-purpose, so you can use it on your skin as well. So even though it's going on your beard, you can transition to the skin depending on which product you get. So shout out to Assured Man. Make sure you guys go ahead and click that. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all my green gang that's in the chat. Dale Matthew. I see we got Chicago Gorilla. And that was Mr. BX87. HR is in the building. We had a little incident in the pre-show. You know, I thought we might needed to call HR. So HR was summoned and he is on site. So if anybody needs to summon HR, just say red. Red means stop. It's a common word.
Be out, John, with the red.
I mean, I really wasn't. It just so happened that you had red on, sir. So I didn't mean to offend you. So don't call it
green.
No, it's red. Red means stop. You know, so if anybody feel offended, just say the word red tonight. All right. If you want to become part of Green Gang, click that link that's in the chat. No, it's not in the chat. It's actually in the description. Click that link that's in the description and go ahead and go green. I see Marcus is putting his red light on for a reason. I guess you don't want nobody messing with you today, huh?
Yeah,
so anybody
okay. Offended light.
Okay, so anytime we see that red light, we know that you are being offended.
Yeah. I was checking to make sure I got it. All right,
okay.
Cool.
Yeah, chat, make sure you guys go light on Marcus tonight. You know, otherwise HR will be sending out notices. He is sending emails to a few people. He sent out a few emails last Thursday on behalf of Marcus. That was a joke. Y'all can laugh anytime now. I was waiting on you guys to laugh. That was a joke. Oh, y'all missed it. Everybody missed it. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me just take that one out. Give me 1 second. All right, got that taken care of. Let's go get the show started, man. I'm tired of being corny. Our first topic of the night. I watched the Charleston White and Cam Newton's interview, and I pulled out this section that stood out to me. It was an excellent show. I think it brought a lot of. I was highly entertained. I laughed. I didn't get upset. I don't think anything that Charleston White says surprises me, but I was looking at the dialogue. I thought it was excellent content for people, so it was a win in my books. But he mentioned something that said, actions don't speak louder than words to Black people. Actions don't speak louder to words than words to Black people. Let that sink a little bit. Andrea already rolling the eyes, but just let it marinate a little bit, man. Just think about what it's saying. Action don't speak louder than words to Black people. So he's insinuating that Black people seem to focus more on the action or on the words and not the action. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. Have anyone seen the interview? Anybody watched it? No? It's fun. I'm surprised. I think some of y'all lying.
I saw parts of it.
A little bit of it.
I've seen a clip, but I didn't see
I've
it.
seen one clip. I haven't gotten a chance to see the whole thing yet.
Okay. So that means everybody's gonna be pretty much quiet on this one then, because
I know I heard a lot about it. So
okay.
Well, when you hear Charleston White one time, you already know it's the same shit.
I mean, this was a little bit different, and I'm not getting paid to say it. It was a little bit different, though, man.
I heard a lot more feedback about Cam Newton and a lot of stuff going over his head, but I'm ready to see it.
Okay. Well, nevertheless, we're gonna go ahead and dive into this topic. Hit that like button, family. Here we go.
A conversation, and that you admitted to you being a moron.
Nah, I'm an oxymoron. I've never done nothing wrong to nobody. See, the thing about this is, you don't hear nobody say I've done wrong to nobody. It's always, well, he said this. See, I thought it was actions speak louder than words. So what I realized is most people are hypocritical. They stuck on words. That's why they ignore most people's actions like celebrities. That's why they ignore R. Kelly actions for so long when he was child molesting. That's why they ignored Jay-Z's action when Foxy Brown came out and said he was putting that horse dick in her in the Source magazine. Remember that interview? You might be too young. Foxy Brown came out and said Jay-Z was fucking her when she was 16. So if we just go, come on now. So that's why action don't speak louder than words to Black people. Because if you go to looking at action, you look at Dion can't keep a marriage. He been divorced how many times? This is how many wives he done had, 3 or 4? So we are following a man who can't how many times? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Known for sleeping with multiple women throughout his life. Whoremongering man. Maybe that's why God took his toe. Turf toe motherfucker.
Okay.
So that's all I'm saying. So this is a man who done abused multiple women. Pilar has so much to say about it. Go get the divorce papers. Abusive, Come on now. I was paying attention because I lived in Dallas at the time, so it was big talk in Dallas. And we ain't gonna talk about when he was in Atlanta fronting the dope niggas down here when he was playing for the Atlanta Falcons. All that's documentation.
Speculations.
Okay, well, we'll say speculation, but there's no speculations on Charleston White. It's just what he says. It's just conversation. So when you look at Charleston White, you see he's a father, a husband, a community activist, a youth advocate. You ain't got nothing on me.
Ex-husband, coon.
You ain't got nothing on me.
Snitch.
You ain't got no paperwork.
Talk down
no
on
paperwork.
black people.
No paperwork. No paperwork. It ain't no paperwork on me. You got to have paperwork on the snitch.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Action don't speak louder than words to black people. Action don't speak louder. Yeah, action don't speak louder than words to black people. I'm gonna go ahead and go to you first, Sweeney. What are your thoughts about that, man?
This nigga said that's why God took his toe. You know what? I actually talked about this not too long ago. And I was talking about how it's crazy how we can see abuse take happen right in front of us, right before our eyes, and we don't bat an eye. And the moment somebody says something happened, then everybody ears and stuff perk up. For example, let's just use P. Diddy as an example, allegedly. It took somebody, Cassie, coming out 10 years later to talk about what he did, and it took the world by storm, right? But we've known that Diddy's been a menace for how long now? Y'all couldn't tell when he was treating his band members the way he was treating them? Doing them, making them do unnecessary, ungodly level types of things, having them walking in the dead of winter, you know what I mean? Weaponizing their careers against them. He was always an abusive person. But when it was in camera, we was all laughing. It was all fun and games. Another example, when we look at Tiana Taylor, we looked at that when we seen how Tiana Taylor was talking to, what is it, Iman Shumpert? How she was talking to him on the video, nobody bats an eye. But now all of a sudden we say, oh, she says he's toxic behind camera, and all of a sudden we supposed to believe it. Now everybody's ears is perking up. Oh, maybe he is abusive. Maybe he is toxic. Maybe he is a narcissist. Well, that wasn't what we saw. What we saw was her and her daughter disrespecting him live on camera. But that's just TV, though. Another example, I guarantee you, if none of that shit happened with Krishan Rock and Blueface in front of a camera, then we'll all care about it a whole lot more. But because they doing it in front of a camera, it's all good in the hood. Nobody talks about the level of abuse that's going on between them two because it's happening in front of the camera and it's all entertainment. R. Kelly took somebody coming out and just talking about what he did, but when he did it on camera and we all knew that was R. Kelly, nobody said anything.
Folks was watching it,
sharing the video. Hey, check this out. Nobody said anything. We knew that was a 60. We knew that was a minor on that video. We knew it was R. Kelly on that video. But 10, 15 years later, when somebody says something, now all of a sudden we all, oh my God, I can't believe. And I know we reaching back and there's a lot of people that says, oh, well, that was a different generation and we're not tolerating it today. But I'm sorry, you can use Krishan and Blueface as a prime example. You can use a lot of reality shows where we can see, I don't care what nobody says, that may be made for TV, but some of those people are really acting that way in those TV shows. They really do behave that way. And when the stories come out behind it and people actually come out and say, yeah, that person was a narcissist, that person was abusive. Yeah, we knew because we saw it on that reality show when y'all were talking shit, but everybody was cool with it when it was happening then. Anytime we actually see somebody doing wrong, nobody says anything. The moment somebody says somebody does something wrong, now we got to believe them. Now we got something to talk about. Another example, Young Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. We heard, she said it right in front of our faces. I got an attitude. I don't know how to act. I got to tame it. Sometimes you got to have a little black meat on the side. We saw it live and direct.
What?
Nobody cares. Now all of a sudden, when Jeezy divorces her, and then he comes out and now everybody ears is perking up. She comes out and says, "Oh, he cheated on me." Now everybody wants to believe her. I knew it was something. No, it wasn't. We just heard her tell the whole world that she's verbally abused, that she can act ignorant, that she can get out her body, that she can be disrespectful. We just heard her say it. Another example. When you look at the whole Keke Palmer situation, we can see somebody literally be disrespectful to somebody live and in person. Nobody cares. But when something happened behind closed doors, now all of a sudden our ears perk up and we're like, oh yeah, man, yeah, he was doing this. Oh, she wasn't that. She just told us in her book that she got a mouth on her that she put hands on men. But now it's beyond the realm of possibility that she might have put paws on him because she came out with her story first. Every time we can see somebody do something, nobody cares. We can see somebody admit to something.
I don't care.
Nobody cares. But if it comes out but you know what it is? Black folks love conspiracy theories. We love conspiracy theories. We speculate that shit happened. And life but life can be happening to us right in front of our faces, and we largely ignore it. But if there's a conspiracy theory, we stick to that shit till we die. And that's what I think it is. We just love our conspiracy theory. We love to think. We love to manifest stories. We don't like the truth. We just like to manifest shit. That's what I got.
Sweet right. For all of those receipts that you just put out there, all of the receipts.
I was coming to you, Stacey. What are your thoughts about that? Actions don't speak louder than the words to Black people.
I mean, when I think about, like, you know, the topic and just hearing what I've heard, I think about the fact that this isn't just something that just happened. This is something that's been building up for generations, in a sense, right? So we've come from households where it's like, what happens in this house stays in this house type of mentality. And then, you know, I mean, even back to slavery, you know, just thinking about, you know, these actions and a lot of behaviors are things that are unsaid. And some of the behavior that has trickled down, you know, I believe trauma trickles down. So when I look at these situations where these people are in, you know, the spotlight, you know, we have to, you know, give people grace. I'm big on grace. And a lot of people, you know, we touch base on therapy and, you know, self. It's unfortunate that sometimes this could be a generalization that, you know, I could partner with. That, yeah, sometimes, you know, actions don't speak louder than words, you know, to Black people. You know, it's just unfortunate to hear. And I think, I don't know, maybe if I can speak for everybody else, but I was quiet on this because it's a touchy situation. We're talking about people's lives and things that have happened that are now coming out. And you know, you just don't want to say the wrong thing because they're holding people accountable nowadays. So, Sweeney, when you were giving receipts, I'm like, okay, I like the way you did that. So.
All right. We'll go ahead and go to Marcus. What are your thoughts about it, sir? Action don't speak louder than words to Black people.
I think Sweeney on point. I think Charleston is right in regards to that, minus the turf toe and all the extra crazy shit he was saying and the dry snitch shit he was doing, because that was a whole lot he was doing. That man talking about he's selling dope in Atlanta. He beating his wife. Like, how you know these things, bro? How you know it's not just speculation? And put that out on that man's name to 5 million people. How many people gonna see that? It's wild to me. People got to be more responsible with their words. But that's his point. I can say whatever I want, and it won't matter. Because as long as I, you know, as long as y'all can't arrest me for words, I'm gonna just keep yelling and saying whatever outlandish thing. He kind of like a Black Howard Stern, a shock jock, when it comes to like the way he moves. But he be having some intelligent points in there. And if his whole, like, if this is all like a comedy act and he's just doing like some elite level of comedy that not everybody can get, I would understand that too. But if you look at Obama, he sold hope. He didn't have tangible plans for us. We didn't really get much out of that deal, right? Not much that that we actually wanted, right? So there were some things, but the things that we actually wanted did not come from that deal. But selling hope was a profitable business. It's the same thing with our places of worship, with get rich quick schemes. It's selling hope, and you don't need to see the tangible action behind things for you to really value it. As long as somebody could talk a good game, they in there. I mean, I think it's accurate. It is accurate, but I don't think it's just relegated to Black people. I think across the board, people can be talked in and out of anything. We have a hypersensitivity to it, though. I will say that.
Okay. Andrea, actions don't speak louder than words to Black people.
So I actually feel like I don't think it's just subject to Black people. I think this is like something that's cultural, like throughout all of mankind. I feel like just pertaining to some of the examples that have been named by Sweeney and by Charleston White, I feel like abuse of women has been going on for centuries. And I feel like just because of the fact that we live in like a capitalist society where it's like stemming from misogyny, and we just came up in a sexist world in general, I feel like this is more of an issue of believing victims when they come out. Not victim blaming, regardless if someone didn't come out yet and say that they were abused. If we see it, and this goes for white people too, because I think Elvis married a 14-year-old girl, and then there's the one white millionaire who like adopted the Asian girl and then end up like having some type of relationship with her and marrying her. So I think it's just a bigger issue when it comes to believing victims and the abuse of women that are underage. So
That had nothing to do with the damn topic, but go ahead. It's whatever. It's
it
always
is named
women.
victims for women. He's talked about R. Kelly. He talked about Jay-Z. We've been talking about what Tiana Taylor and Jenny Mai and stuff like that. Like, who we don't know what happens behind closed doors. So I think for us,
Taylor and Victor Mai, Tiana Taylor and Jeannie Mai were the actual abusers. And Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer literally said herself on audio when her disgusting, vile ass mama was going off on his man and calling Usher gay on audio. She also said, I admit to putting my hands on you and you responding the way you do. She didn't even say that he did something. She said that she did something.
I believe that, well, first of all, you can't blame what her mom said on her. She didn't actually. She
raised him.
Her words. No, this
she
was
raised him, and
Keke
she
Palmer's
said
word.
she put her hands on him. What do you got to say about that?
I feel like it is
right.
Excuse me, I'm going to answer your question. I feel like it's very possible to be emotionally abused and responding in physical abuse. I'm not saying that either party is right.
What if a man is emotionally abused and he got physical? Now it's a problem, right?
It's a problem both ways. Abuse is not okay both ways.
Why are you talking about patriarchy and misogyny when Sweeney clearly said two situations that men were wrong and three situations where women were wrong? You ain't saying about the women.
What I said was that I don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Of course.
Now you don't know what happened.
Of course. You don't know what happens when a man does something. It's crazy.
All right, y'all. Go ahead, Preston.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is crazy.
Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. So it says actions don't speak louder than words to Black people. Growing up, Black people wanted you to prove yourself. Most Black people, mainly family, won't even support you unless, they see action. So I'm not understanding that too much because in today's society, whatever actions you put on social media is what people are believing. So they are speaking louder than, you know, what people really have to say. You see more Sexy Red, Carly Red, whatever they call Sukiyana, little kids singing lyrics to these, you know, I don't even know if you can call them artists. You know, their actions are speaking louder than most of the people that are talking against it. So I think actions do speak louder than words. I think that we need more people to speak up against certain things. Now that seems like where Charleston comes into play here, because he's not afraid to say certain things to combat these actions or come at these actions. So I think for him, his words are going to definitely speak louder than the actions, because he like Marcus said, he has that shock factor. And you have to have, it seems like in today's society, you have to have some type of shock factor. Sexy Red got it with being the most ghetto chick representing Section 8, you know, Sukiyana right behind her or in front of her. I don't know if she's older. She's older than Sexy Red. So you have to have some type of shock factor. Nobody has that authenticity anymore. And I think that Charleston White is saying, hey, look, I think I saw a quote of him saying, when I was smart, when I was in the books, wasn't nobody paying attention to me. But then I turned into an ignorant ninja, and now everybody want to pay attention to me. So the actions are speaking louder than the words, but it's the way that you're acting and the words that you're using.
All right. We'll go ahead and go to you, Trev. What are your thoughts about it, sir? Action don't speak louder than words to Black people.
Charleston White is one of those dudes who makes me use the phrase, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Hold on, Trev. Your mic connected. Sound like it might be you.
Let me see.
Heard the likes are down, so if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button for me. Hit that like button if you haven't already.
How about now? Okay. So yeah, Charleston White is one of those dudes where I use the phrase broken clock is right twice a day. As far as, there's a lot of different things to take into consideration though. It's about not so much about what you do, but who you offend while doing it, right? We kind of mentioned R. Kelly for a second, right? And let's just be honest. If he had one single white girl on his list, he would have been done for a very long time ago, right? Right now, the culture has absolutely changed. A lot of things that predators used to get away with back in the day are no longer acceptable by the masses, right? And with the induction of social media, word travels very fast, right? And there's always somebody who wants to do something about it. So it depends on who's on the platform as well. Charleston White could say something and it'll hit different. His delivery is awesome. He's a genius when it comes to delivery. He was able to, he's compelling, right? He makes people want to watch and listen to him. He sells a lot when he does his, or if not all the time, when he does his shows. He's the perfect person to deliver it. So we could say things about something all we want. It doesn't matter. It depends. Now, a person like Charleston White could say the same thing, and now it matters because now it created a discussion, right? Now people are going back and forth. There's different people who are listening to it. There's so much more exposure. So the effect will be quite different.
I got a question for you, Trev.
Good.
So you mentioned that if it was one white girl on R. Kelly's list, he would be done, right? And
I really believe that.
I don't really have a disagreement to that, but I'm going to be honest. Who is supposed to hold R. Kelly accountable?
Everyone who witnessed it. Anyone who could have done something about it. The parents, The parents were supposed
The
to.
fathers, the cousins.
Everybody who knew what was happening.
So-
Everyone
so
around that
what
situation.
demographic-
His peers that knew what he was doing should have held him accountable.
So what demographic witnessed what R. Kelly did and largely ignored it?
We did.
I went to grade school with that girl. So
Like
yeah.
we were the ones, like, because even today, you still hear it today. I'm still gonna listen to his music. He's still a great musician, and that's us. White folks don't listen to R. Kelly.
Okay, well they
We
partaking in Playboy, so Hugh Hefner is the R. Kelly. So are we really just trying to say just black people are guilty of seeing abuse and not doing anything about it? They came out with a whole documentary about Playboy and what Hugh Hefner was doing.
Well, I'm assuming that we're talking about black folks because we're black folks, and we're explaining how black folks are largely ignoring problematic behavior in our
He
community.
did bring up
which-
a white girl though, so that does make sense what Audrey is saying.
Yeah, true.
He brought in a white girl in this situation.
So would it mean that if it was a white girl, he probably wouldn't be Dunzo because wouldn't nobody give a shit?
No, it would have been the same thing. Well, let me tell y'all something. No matter what happens, no matter what year it is, no matter what century it is, it's always going to be some young girl that some older dude is going to mess with, and at some point she's going to get this or to that, and she's going to get R'd, and she ain't going to say nothing. Whether it's TV, whether it's radio, whether it's social media, it's just always is a part of the weird ecosystem. Like, y'all got to understand, when it comes to TV, media, and music, the youngest girl, the prettiest girl, the new girl on the block gets all the attention. So it's always a new girl coming out of high school, and she can sing, or she can act, or she got a body, or she's different. Next thing you know, what happens? Some dude is like, I can make you a star. He's going to take advantage of her. And even though she's young, I understand, but she's going to be like, let's do it. Ooh, let's do it. I'll do it. And then it gets too bad. It gets crazy, right? So she'll sleep with this dude over here to get on. And then even this dude over here to get on. But these 3 other dudes over here, why I got to sleep with them? Well, you got to get on. And she's like, now I'm mad because now I feel taken advantage of because those dudes I didn't agree to. And because it always gets worse. And I'm not making excuses, but the thing about it is, and these women sometimes are young, so they don't know no better, but it's a problem within itself, and it's an ecosystem type of problem, right? So if there was a law that if they said girls under 19 can't get into this industry, then it would change. But you got to understand, even the corn industry, I'll say that, a lot of them girls be runaways or whatever, and in the video they be like, so how old are you? I'm 19, I'm 18. They be, you know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, it's always an ecosystem of young girls coming into whatever industry it is. Hey, look at me. And then they get taken advantage of because they think it's a game. And because the thing about it is, they pretty, they young, but at some point, somebody's going to push the issue. And because they're pretty and young, they're not going to respect her boundaries. And now, in all honesty, it's a real thing. But now she's going to be like, I'm a victim. This guy did this to me. But she didn't want it. She just wanted it from him and not him. So it gets worse. But it happens in every industry.
I was going to say, Lil Wayne had it in one of his lyrics. You're going to have to suck like 10 before you meet the president.
Yeah. And they'll do 7 of them, but they're not going to like the other 3. And then the other 3, they're going to be like, oh, he R'd me. But the other 7, they was okay with doing.
All right, let me go ahead and go ahead, Pressure. You want to say something?
I was going to say it sounds like twisted logic, but it does make sense because women think that they could just do whatever and that time or experience or certain things aren't going to catch up to them. and not realizing that they can't handle all that. I was just saying that the other day, like women just can't handle all that sexual attention. But yet you trying to do it for a quick dollar or whatever, and then you get to that 10th one, like Mr. Let Go was saying, that you don't want to do. You done already tied yourself out. You probably done already shamed yourself. And now they come around and you're like, no, I don't want to do this. And so in order for it to stop, you say that he abused you.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's going to believe that he did that because you're a woman and women know how to manipulate a situation, when in all actuality, you made a decision to go down that road. So if you're going to make a decision to go down that road, be able to handle what comes with going down that road.
But I got to say this, the 10th dude did abuse you. You feel me? The 7th dude just did.
1 through 7 were your decision. So where did you really think it was going to go? Did you think you was going to have a fairy tale happily ever after situation? Right. You know, you have to understand that when you play with fire, you're going to get burnt at one time.
Totally agree.
Can we all agree? Okay, sorry. Can we all agree that any type of sexual misconduct with someone who's underage is abuse because they're not consenting adults?
She don't have to be underage. It's abuse. If like I said, if the 10th, that's what I said. The 10th dude, if she says no at number 10, it's still abuse.
No. It's abuse because of the fact that she's an underage teen, or she's not at an adult level where she can consent as an adult in whatever conduct they're partaking in. So once we stop victim blaming and actually focus on what the problem is and stop making it a racial issue instead of the fact that like people tend to just not believe victims, which is why most women don't come out and say they were abused, because we go down this line about, oh, you weren't abused with this person or you weren't abused with that person, when in fact anytime a person is not saying yes or saying no or not doing anything at all, it doesn't make it consensual. So these girls who are young women who are involved in an industry, especially where even if you have to be 18 or 19 to get involved in this industry, it's obviously loopholes around that. So you can get snuck into clubs, you can get snuck into anything. And I just think that right now I feel like we're just having a very closed mindset about it, and we're victim blaming right now.
So let me say this, Audrey. I literally said, the 10th guy she says no to did abuse her in a scenario. Like I said, if a girl agreed to this guy and a girl agreed to that guy, but then that guy over there wants some too, that guy that she did not agree with I literally said that in 3 different ways. So I'm letting everybody know that it is abuse. But what me and Precious is saying is, once you go down that road, things get very foggy and nobody cares about whatever it is, your choices anymore as a young girl, because you are excited with the limelight, excited with the money, the drugs, the whatever. Because I'll just say this. We've had stripper parties before, right? And of course, strippers are of age. They came from a strip club, which means they were stripping. We'll have stripper parties, right? The chicks are go in the bathroom and get ready. They'll get ready, right? So when I was in the stripper party, I would be quick to do my thing early, because I already have the awareness that the third dude or this dude or that dude at some point, she's going to be like, I'm tired, I'm inebriated or whatever. And that's the guy that's going to end up getting lied on, because when a woman first come out the bathroom and she don't pop something, she's like, yeah, she's ready, right? And you get with her when she's ready and she consents, and you leave afterwards. Think y'all ever seen what is something club? What was it?
Players Club.
Chicks come out, yeah. If you if you do what you do early, when she's happy, you're happy, she's good. It always happens at the end when everybody's about to leave. one woman is like a little groggy or whatever, and is that one weirdo who's just like, hey, come here. That is the dude that actually is the terrible person. So I've been in these type of parties before, and I've always had the awareness that I'm gonna look the woman in the eye second she come out of the bathroom, and I'm like, yo, what's up? And I'm gonna talk to her, pull her to the side. We're gonna have a conversation. I want to be with you. We're gonna have a conversation because I want to know that you are at sound mind. You good.
Mr. Lego, just stop, bro. Just
I
stop.
was about to say,
hold on,
friends
hold
are
on,
friends,
hold on,
and
y'all. Hold on.
I don't want you to
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I kind of want to
Real
shift
thing.
this so we can get back.
Hold on. Let me just say this one thing because I got to clear it up. They just came out of the strip club. They were in the strip club. Keep that in mind. These are not random women. It's a stripper party. They'll come out of the strip club with, and this was back in the day. But the thing about it is, what I'm saying is, from a conscious standpoint, I'm going to make sure that this woman knows me and everything's cool and it's consent. The last dude and the last girl, it can possibly end up looking crazy because, like I said, and like Precious said, is the fifth dude, the 10th dude that turns around and ends up getting creepy. And it's the dude, not the woman, it's the dude. Because just like in court, before you say yes to a charge, they literally say, do you understand the charges? Do you understand the charges? And you got to say yes, of sound mind. So that's the thing that I make sure to do or did back in the day. And it happened, and I'm just being real. I made a point to look at you in your eyes.
All right, y'all. I want to shift it, y'all. I want to get off of this. Go ahead, Casey. Actions don't speak louder than words to Black people.
That took me all off my plate. Okay, let me see. I agree with Marcus and Precious. I think they're on the flip side of the coin of where my brain was going with this because I hadn't seen the interview when you first said the statement, JR, actions don't speak louder than words for Black people. I believe what Precious says, but then on the flip side, I believe what Marcus says, there is some truth to that as well. The first thing I thought about was like all these scammers all over social media talking this good game about their life, how much money they make, trying to sell, water to a whale. Like they're just all about, these crazy lifestyles that people just buy hook, line, and sinker without really seeing the actions of their real lifestyle, right? It's just all about pictures and words. I mean, it's another scammer going down every single week. People that quote unquote live these amazing lifestyles. And I feel like compared to other entities of people on social media, people are so quick to believe that it's legitimate when they really don't see their real life. They're only seeing what they say and seeing a couple pictures, and they're believing like, oh, this person made $20 million off of this or that, and oh my gosh, like look at their lifestyle. And it's all a facade, it's all fake, and you never see the people who are close to them, you never see them adding validity to their story ever, and then also the other thing that I thought about is when it comes to relationships, people don't believe the proof in the pudding. Like people don't believe when it comes to relationships, people rather listen to people who are not living a certain lifestyle for advice on how to get a certain lifestyle, which is crazy to me. We talk about it on the show all the time. I know Trev mentions it all the time. If you want marital advice, you need to be speaking to people who have marriage for years and have lived that life and they have actions behind their words. But people are so quick on social media to believe people that have not lived a certain life, or they really have no true actions behind the advice that they're giving, but they believe it because the words sound good. They believe it because it's packaged up in a pretty picture. They believe it because there's some nice designer labels behind whatever they have going on. And so they follow these people and they follow them in the masses. churches too, same thing. You know, people follow behind whatever words and how pimp name slipback. They that quick talk, they like it, and they don't have any proof in the pudding, but it sounds good, it makes them feel good, so they follow it. So that's what when I first heard the statement, JR, that's what my brain immediately went to, really, without going into all the stuff that he was talking about when it comes to abuse and all this and that. But I agree with Precious and Marcus in both ends of that spectrum.
Jasmine, what are your thoughts about it, ma'am? Actions don't speak louder than words to Black people.
I'll make it brief, but I had three things. One was the perception is most times greater than reality when it comes to our people. I feel like we like to look at things, and like if we see somebody doing a thing and it looks like they're really doing it, that's when we want to follow them. And a lot of times we don't care about things until other people make us care about it. Like cousins can be shooting each other up, but then as soon as a white person shoots somebody, then we care. Now we want to rally about it. But it's like we're not holding our own people accountable enough to really show outrage and stand together in that way. But I know that's a whole nother other thing. But accountability too, when it comes to the parents that, that's dropping off the little kids to these places that are causing them to be assaulted, and actually, parenting the kids better so that they don't be fast, like, cause I know a lot of little girls that were very fast and ended up pregnant at different ages, but they're not pregnant by like older people. They're pregnant by like people in their age range and stuff. And it's like, cause they're experimenting with sex and they're not technically consenting, but they're just curious, and curiosity is a real thing when you're young. So it's like, you got to get a rein on that early and everything. But I don't know. I would say actions is very much so is a big thing for Black people. Like I wouldn't even buy something from someone unless I can see that their product actually works and that it's actually does what it's supposed to do, versus like maybe if a white person came up and was like, hey, buy this thing from me. It's there. Like, I might just buy it just because we've been trained, like our brains has been programmed to think that anything they give us is already good and is ready to go. And it's what we're supposed to use and what we need, like these shots and these, injections and all this stuff like that. But we don't want to listen to our people. We want to make them go above and beyond, really.
But Jasmine, think about, for instance, when you just said that, the first thing that came to mind was that doggone NutriBurst that came out, right? People, it was black women were the main sellers of this product, saying that you get up in the morning, you open this drink, you pour the drink into the top, drink the top, and you're gonna lose 40 pounds. You do that every day. Nobody saw any real result. This literally happened around COVID. Nobody saw any real results. Nobody saw anything. But what they did was they had a whole bunch of women that were getting surgery and had that mouthpiece. They had that major mouthpiece, and all they did, y'all, they made this Indian man. He had all Black women top sellers of the NutriBurst product. He was an Indian man. He became like a ultra millionaire in the middle of COVID because people believed off words that this product worked, and it was complete BS. And Black women were the main buyers of this product. But hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID. Now you won't even see NutriBurst. In 3 years, the company is non-existent anymore.
But see, they didn't know about the surgeries. They didn't know that was happening. Like, that's the veil.
No, but none of the products were proven to be true, and no one saw any action behind anybody losing any weight from it. But he had, again, that pimp talk will get us every time in buying something where we really don't know if it's even true or not. But that's just where my brain went.
I just want to say something real quick, if it's okay. So 2 things real quick. I feel like as Black people, we need to move away from the term fast. I know we all grew up in, hearing people say, oh, y'all are fast, or using the term fast, but I honestly feel like that's dangerous language because it makes us put a bias on young Black women who are experiencing sexual abuse or
Jesus Christ.
Abuse.
Hold on, let her finish.
Excuse me, calm down. What I'm saying is this. I feel like it's dangerous for us to use that term because we tend to invalidate young Black women's experiences because we're trying to basically say that it's their fault that it happened to them. So I feel like we need to move away from that term. Also, as pertaining to like the NutriBurst and stuff like that, I feel like I remember watching Khloe Kardashian really doing that first. But I think that I feel like, and I'm not saying that this is what you're doing. I'm just saying what I'm hearing. It sounds like we're like blaming Black women because they were being preyed on for being the most impoverished and like, I feel like that Indian guy, in a way, possibly targeted Black women specifically to like sell this stuff because, I mean, just in general, Black people are, we are most financially, impoverished. So it's kind of like
the Black woman heads most of the households. I mean, if you think about it, financially, I think about that. What's making an impact? And I mean, the Black dollar is circulating everywhere else except back into our communities, which I hope the dynamics change in the future as we become more educated. But yeah, I totally can partner with that whole NutriBurst thing. And, I even had some, but I got it for the purposes. And I was like, okay, I'm in the house, COVID. At least I know I'm getting vitamins, but I didn't know about the weight loss part of that component.
So let me ask you ladies a question. Are Black women being targeted in any of these situations or all of these situations? Or are Black women the most gullible people on the planet? And y'all are the first ones to just jump off the cliff no matter what's going on.
Don't do that.
I mean, they know that Black women are going to spend their money on
right. Put some dope shit in front of a Black woman, she's just gonna be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna buy it." They're the most gullible people on the planet.
You asked us, can we?
Yeah,
I
go
think,
ahead.
I think Nicki Minaj started. I know she got something dropping. The barbs will come after me. I don't care. But I think she started it in the Black community. When she went to the pink wig, she wanted to look like a Barbie. She herself got plastic surgery because Lil Wayne was joking with her, saying that she looked like a boy. And then the self-esteem just went down. So they just know where to hit Black women. And they hit them with their self-esteem. Here, get this fake hair, get these fake nails, get this fake ass. You're going to turn into a whole nother person.
Yeah.
And it's fake. It's not real. But Black women need to get a little bit more self-confidence and realize that it's not real and stop spending your money in places that's really wasting your money. Because how often are you going to change your hair out of your head? How much money are you spending on that? How much money are you spending to put something foreign and they don't, and then go get tattoos, spend more money to cover up the scars?
What?
So Andrea, I want to say this before you say something. I want you to say something. I just
hold on. Let go. Let her say what she got to say because I know she's been waiting.
I want to say something to her though, so she can.
I know, but she been wanting to respond. She wanted to respond before Precious, and let's get Jasmine in there.
Go ahead, Andrea. I want to ask her something.
So first, I would like to say, the first Black rap Barbie is Miss Notorious Kim, Miss Kim. So let's not Kim did it first, so let's not do that. But
she was the first Polish female rapper that got.
She was the first fast female rapper.
She was the first fast.
She was the blueprint.
First of all, she was an adult.
That is true. That is true, Andrea. Lil' Kim was first.
You just proved your own damn point.
So okay. But
and y'all see how she she
was
that queen, that Barbie queen.
Okay, as someone who actually went to school for cosmetics and skincare and just overall the cosmetic industry, when it comes to Black people, we spend the most money when it comes to like cosmetics in general, but also it's also like statistically proven and scientifically proven that most of the household items in stores that are basically delegated to Black people have the most hazardous chemicals, has the most like cancer causing preservatives and stuff like that. So it's almost like they're creating, they don't really care about what they're putting into the products that are marketed to Black people.
I don't care. So that is my point, Andrea. So let me get, I want to ask her the question.
Hold on. Go.
Are you not done?
No,
I thought you were done. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that we're placed in unfair, like we have a disadvantage already, but because of the fact that we have been through so much trauma as a people, where it wasn't always beautiful to be Black, it wasn't always beautiful to have, you know, full natural hair. A lot of times we had to assimilate to get jobs, so a lot of Black people are wearing weaves and assimilating to pick up these jobs because they're kicking kids out of school just for having dreadlocks. So there's news anchors who are getting fired because they're wearing their hair in braids. So I
Not no
feel
more
like
in Texas, but go ahead.
That's not necessarily true, Andrea.
Excuse me.
That's not
Please,
necessarily
sir.
true.
Hold on,
Hold on, wait. I just want to
Hold on,
say it.
2020. Let her finish.
I'm almost done. All I'm saying, we have these conversations. I feel like we need to give our people more grace instead of penalizing them for being in a disadvantaged situation in the first place. It's almost like saying, put on your boots.
Okay,
so hold on. I got it first. So Andrea, this is my issue with everything that you're saying. One is a guy, white guy, whatever, or that invents some crazy shit, right? And they don't just jump out and just market it to Black woman. They'll get a Black woman to market it to y'all. So the person that is the actual enemy is the Nicki Minaj or the Little Kim. It's the female influencer that they pay to tell all the women to buy, ooh, girl, buy this, buy that. So the biggest enemy in this situation is the Black woman. And I always say the Black woman is the biggest enemy of the Black woman. So yes, you're right. Because if you think about in skincare, they put the worst chemicals in the skincare and the hair and all this other shit that Black women are using. But Black women are using it. All women have to do is stop using this bullshit, stop wearing these wigs, stop wearing all this makeup and shit, and just be yourself. And when it came to the other thing that you said, if Black women had husbands, do you think that same Black woman would be buying all this dumb NutriCare bullshit, getting these BBLs, dying on the table? No, because y'all don't have no sense. This is the reason why I'm always going to advocate for marriage. Every last one of y'all goofy asses needs a husband to help you make decisions. Black women are terrible, gullible decision makers. And when y'all are the head of these households, y'all are not only ruining your own lives, but you're ruining your children's lives. Married Black women are never in these situations where they're buying all this crazy shit. Casey, are you ever getting tricked into buying any of this crazy shit? You're married.
No, I've been in fitness and dance all my life. Right. I know it don't work.
Marcus, if your wife run around buying all this dumb shit and be like, oh my God, I just got scammed, Marcus?
I wouldn't say gullible. I would say
hold on, Marcus. Hold on. Marcus?
I said never.
Never.
No.
Why? Yeah. Because you're gonna be like, hold on, babe, that don't look right?
Yeah, I think everything is scam. I ain't gonna lie to you.
This is what the thing. Saying, the woman who he got, the whole woman that went viral. I'm sorry, Stacey. I was just saying the woman that went viral about the low vibrational plate. Y'all remember that? Who created that whole low vibrational plate?
Out of y'all.
She was the top person, the top seller.
Right.
She had like hundreds and thousands of women under her for that company. Wellington. Yes, she was the woman, one of his top sellers and one of his top like executives under his company. And like y'all talked about another night on King Talk. Yeah, she striked while the iron was hot, right? That company strike. COVID was the perfect time for that to come up. Like Stacey was saying, like they grabbed so many people, so many influencers were a part of that blowing up. I guess that you said, Andrea, that you saw Chloe drinking it. Like they grabbed celebrities, they grabbed everybody, but their main sellers on the street, on a base level, on a community level, were Black women. They were Black women.
Can I jump in to say this? This is it really goes back to Adam and Eve, if I'm gonna go there. Even when she ate the fruit, right? She wanted to become more knowledgeable, right? Mm-hmm. So when Black women purchase, it's a trial and error. It's not gullible. You want to see what's effective and you use yourself as a form of research. So I wouldn't say gullible, because then you're making accusations.
Stacey,
Then you think,
how many women die
social
on the
media.
table and they
Social
still go
media
out to
Let her
says-
finish. Let her finish. Let her
social
finish.
media is saying I need to have a big butt or go buy one, a certain type of hair or have different color hair. I need to have makeup. I need to have all these things. And then yesterday on social media, there are a lot of women who are married who have gotten these enhancements. So a lot of women, I feel like, and I'm going to make a generalization, think that, oh, if I have these extra things, that's going to make me more marketable. That's going to make me more desired or more
That's
likely
what
to
gullible means.
husband.
I'm gonna say this.
Hold on. Let me get Jasmine in there real quick.
what
And then we got to transition to the next topic, y'all. Go ahead, Jasmine.
I'm sorry, just one point on that. That is not gullible. It's like she said, it's research. And then I'm not married, and I've never been scammed. I've never gotten a surgery. I've never bought NutriBurst or any of these things. So, and I don't gotta have a husband to make good decisions. Like, I'm just a logical person, and you can just be a logical human being as a Black woman. So you don't gotta lump all Black women together, saying that we don't know nothing without a man, because there's a lot of married women that I know that are out here bailing their husbands out of jail or getting beat down by their husbands, got black eyes. Listen, I'm about to get personal. I ain't even gonna get personal, but I know a lot of married women that need to do better. So it's not all Black women. A lot of us can just maintain our lives and be educated and do what we want to do and live our lives without. But when we can have companionship, but you don't gotta say we need a husband.
Jasmine, do you have a wig on right now?
I do. Yeah.
Do you have eyeliner on?
No,
do you have fake eyelashes
That's not
on?
gullible. That's because I know how to use.
I promise you, if you had a husband, you would not have all that shit on.
My
promise.
my boyfriend loves asked me.
I promise you, if you had a husband, you would not have all that shit on. I'm just letting
I
you
don't
know.
have it on right now. I don't wear makeup all day every day.
I get it.
Mr. Lego, Mr. Lego.
Go ahead.
Here, one thing. First of all, it's not just Black women that are gullible. Black people in general are gullible, and I'm going to explain why. We're just gullible for different reasons.
It's
because while women were out there getting scammed by NutriBurst and It Works and all of that shit, a lot of men were getting scammed when it came to cryptocurrency, when it came to Forex, when it came to what was that dude name? What was the guy named that the Black Wall Street? He was conning a lot of people out of money. So we get scammed for different ways, but all of us are gullible.
I
Every
don't
last
think
one
that
of
was.
us.
I just want to say this.
That was a scam, bro.
Hold on.
Cryptocurrency paid me well. I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Cryptocurrency was.
I'm not saying that cryptocurrency was wrong. I'm not saying that cryptocurrency is inherently a
I get what you're
scam.
saying, but all the things that you're talking about, stocks.
Bro, I'm not talking about cryptocurrency in itself.
People, I get it. Listen for a second. Cryptocurrency was not a
Hey,
scam.
y'all,
No,
listen.
I get that. I'm not saying that.
Can I finish though?
No, because you're saying something that I didn't say. I didn't say
the
that.
audience-
I didn't
the
say
audience
that.
is listening.
I didn't say that.
What?
So the audience doesn't
Can
need
I
to hear that.
finish,
Because
bro?
you're
What I'm
no, no,
Bro, what
no,
I'm saying is real
no,
estate.
no.
Stop. Real
You
estate is
stop.
not. Stop. Real estate is not a scam.
No shit,
If you don't-
Sherlock.
If you don't know what you're doing, it's a scam to you because you don't know what you're doing. Not you, but period.
Am I the only one that's hearing
Cryptocurrency
this?
isn't and wasn't cryptocurrency still there.
Nobody said
It's still not
that.
a scam.
I didn't say
That shit
that.
wasn't a scam.
I didn't say that.
You just said the dudes was
I
getting
said
scammed out of crypto. It wasn't a
I
scam.
just offered.
People are getting offended.
example.
People are
don't
getting
know how to
offended.
invest-
People are getting offended on the panel. Is the red light is on. People are getting offended.
Bro, I didn't say that cryptocurrency was a scam. I said we were
just
getting
said that.
scammed. I said we were getting scammed via cryptocurrency. That's two totally different things. Because if you have somebody that comes out and say they can make you $1 million through crypto and they can't make you $1 million through crypto, you got scammed because they took your
Not a
money.
scam.
I didn't say that.
Let me just say this, y'all. Mr. Lego came for Jasmine. I didn't agree with nothing she said, but she does look cute, so we're not gonna do that.
They said
Married women wear
scammed
makeup. Like we like looking cute. I don't know. I'm not a homely woman at all. You can tell by the fit that I have on tonight. I'm not no matronly, homely woman. So I don't believe in. Oh, if you're married, my husband appreciates me being stylish and sexy, and I keep
fake eyelashes on right now.
No, I have
Wait, I
long
wanna say-
eyelashes naturally,
Real
but
Thank you.
but Jasmine looks cute, so don't do that to her.
Jasmine
I
looks
wanna
cute. Shout out to Jasmine. You look cute.
All right, we're gonna go to Andre. Hold on, Andre. We're gonna go to Andre.
I got one quick point too.
We'll go to Trev because he's been quiet. So after Trev, nobody else. Go ahead, Andre.
Okay. So I was just gonna say, Mr. Lego, you said a couple of things that I just want to that I've taken note of that I think I need to just talk on real quick and real brief. So when it comes to you said that white men market to black women because we're gullible and we're trying to basically self-sabotage ourselves.
I didn't say that.
How often
y'all were gullible.
Caucasian people been honest about what they were doing to black people in general for forever? We could sit here and talk about, we could play this game of semantics if you want to, but we could talk about the Tuskegee experiment. It's so many different things that has happened to black people where they were being lied to by their own doctors. So let's not make it about black women being gullible when there's a problem when it comes to just the races in general in the United States of America. Secondly, you talked about black men liking women who are more natural and take off your wig and take off your lashes. But can we actually talk about the fact that most of the times that black women's actual black features are being showcased, black men are the ones who typically call them ugly? How often do you guys go in on Serena Williams and other black women?
Call them ugly. Black women do.
Hold on. We can talk about featureism all
Black
day.
women call black women ugly.
Hold on.
Let her finish.
All I'm saying is this. We could talk about featureism all day long. At the end of the day, we live in a society, in a westernized society in general. So xenophobia is something that's always going to be present when it comes to, oh, she looks exotic, or she's racially ambiguous, or, oh, she's got good hair. All of those things are things that we've heard growing up. So it's a deeper issue. It's not just about black women wearing wigs and wearing lashes. And that's just all I wanted to say.
Now, what does that have to do with It Works? And NutriBullet and Nutra. That had nothing to do with anything. That had nothing to do with anything that was said about y'all falling for scams.
It goes over your head. That goes over.
It didn't go over my head. You just didn't say anything.
It had anything to do with NutriBullet.
I called him out too. I called his ass out too. So
can I just say this?
I'm equal opportunity calling people out for their bullshit.
Within our culture, when you wave a dollar, within our culture, when you wave a dollar in front of a black man or a black woman, we gonna take the dollar every single time. Yep. I mean, that's how drugs are still being sold. We could go back to and talk about the CIA and all of this X, Y, and Z. But in 2023, the CIA is nobody from Snowfall is not going on in your community, in your hood, right? Your local hood, the drug dealers are selling the drugs because of that dollar. Period, point blank. It's a I'm getting it out the mud type of situation. When it comes to anybody making money on social media, when it comes to them selling a fake product, not the people who hustle for real and have good products, but people who are selling games and schemes and products that are not worth anything. It's all about a dollar. And when it comes to black women and men, I'm not speaking for any other race. When it comes to us, we talk a good game, but when that dollar is pushed in front of your face, you're going to get behind that dollar and push whatever that fake product is, whatever the drugs in your community, whatever it is, you're going to sell it.
Because it's systematic.
Right,
that's why.
No, it's systematic.
All right, we're going to Trev. We're going to Trev, and then we're going to move on, y'all. Everybody mute up. Go ahead, Trev.
All right, cool. I ain't going to be too long-winded because I know you want to move on, but I just wanted to say we've been throwing a lot on black women in particular. However, did anybody know about Proactive when that came out and it was just peeling people's skin and everything? That wasn't us. Also, black women didn't really originate this fake stuff. Breast augmentation and tummy tucks and all that, they were doing that way before we could even afford that, right? Before we could go over to DR or somewhere in Central America and get it for super cheap, right? We weren't doing that. That wasn't black women that was originating that. That came behind the other guys.
All right, good point. Let's go ahead and get to these super chats. I'm hearing the likes are down. We got 387 people in here right now. Can we at least get the likes up to 350? So if you haven't already, hit that like button for me. Derek T, a member for 25 months, says, shout out to the Lapeef Network. Shout out to the panel. Still to you, sir. T.O., member for 8 months. Marcus, get your unk, man. LOL. Salute to the panel. T.O. gifted one Lapeef Network membership. Thank you for doing that, sir. I also gifted another one. Salute to you, sir. T.O. again says they came $5. They came for R. Kelly after all them years later because he went broke paying parents and people off and couldn't do it no more. T.O. again, $5 says parents are literally dropping their kids off at his crib, need to go to jail too. For all the people that were around and seeing and speaking out now. I agree. Devin Braxton, $5. A lot of these women are not underage. They are just following the women who say chase the bag, not understand the consequences in their actions. Congo English, $5 says, Andrea, you missed the point what Let Go and Real Precious was articulating. Hink in the basement, what's going on, brother? $5 Simmons Let Go is at the stripper parties looking to be the first guy to eat that sweaty ass. Congo English, $5 says, to Sweeney Point, Black people have the highest level of gullibility. And I would like to add playing the race. And lastly, Hink in the basement, $2 says, Mr. Let Go is ready to buy Jazz a set of tires. Hashtag ass eater. I want to thank everybody that has contributed to the platform thus far. Just checking the back chat to make sure we don't need HR. I think we good. We good. Everybody good. Marcus did put up the bat signal. It was the red light special over there. So when you see that light goes on, it means that somebody's getting offended. So we got to be mindful of others because although you may not think that you are offending people, one little syllable would be all it needs to carry it over to get HR in here. So we want to make sure we keep the peace and the
I
work.
was offended.
You was offended?
Yeah, I was offended.
Okay. Well, I'll have them send you out the form, and then you just go ahead and respond. And Friday is usually the day that they do an investigation. So if you get it in tonight, then the investigation might go in tomorrow. So make sure you bring your rep. All right, let's go ahead and get this show started. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, I heard the likes are down. Hit the like button. Shout out to all my green gang that's in the chat. Make sure we be respectful in the chat as well. I know we've been talking a lot about BBLs and bodies and all that stuff like that, which brings me into my next topic. Stephen A. Smith speaks on natural women versus BBLs and dating 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Y'all ready for us? When are you cool? You good? Okay. Want to make sure, man.
Sweeney looking over there like he just lost his
Sweeney,
job.
like somebody rolled over your dog.
You okay, Sweeney?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Go ahead, bro.
You sad?
Stop coddling him.
No, I'm good. Huh? Oh, now somebody can't be coddled? Now somebody can't be coddled? No, now I want my coddling. Thank you for asking what was wrong with me. I appreciate it. Because now all of a sudden she ain't got no empathy. She ain't got no empathy for nobody else.
See, if a woman was on here looking sad and we didn't say nothing to her,
what if I would have told you I found out my mama died? What if I would have told you that? Then you told me to stop coddling.
Y'all didn't check on me.
You ain't looking sad. You smiling.
Okay,
Come on, man.
Let's make sure that let's make sure we just do well-being checks on everybody. So just look at everybody's faces and then kind of peek the temperature, man. Stacey, you cool?
You okay? Stacey, looking
Okay,
sad.
yeah. Your face was starting to drop a little bit. You know, we got to be conscious of that. You know, pick it up. All right, here we go, y'all. Stephen A. Smith speaks on natural women versus BBLs and dating 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Here we go, family.
At Feel Like Simmons, right? BBL or natural? Y'all know what that means, big booties? That's what they're talking about here, right? What would I prefer? Well, natural. I would like to state this because it's very, very important. It's no secret what I have a proclivity for. That has been the case all my life, my adult life, that is. I have no desire to be with any woman as flat as me. To each his own. But if I got more A's and T's than you, nah. I'm on YouTube. I can say ass and tits, but I just didn't feel like it. But if I got more of that than you, I don't need you. I really, really don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. Some level of voluptuousness has to exist. I want curves. I mean, you can have some up here. I prefer a lot back there. No doubt about it. Legs matters. Hips matter. I don't want you ugly, but you don't have to look like Halle Berry or Beyonce either. You understand? Strong 7. Strong 7. Now I'm going to deviate from this particular subject to bring up what a strong 7 is, because there's not a man alive that's going to disagree with what I'm about to break down. So I want the ladies to listen, because I'm trying to be here for you. I'm just trying to be here for you, okay? I'm just trying to be here for you. I want the ladies to listen. I want the ladies to listen, but all the men, there's no man alive that would disagree with what I'm about to say. You want a strong 7. Let me tell you why. 10, fine as all get out, tat out, body, looking fine, everything like that, got it going on. Too much maintenance. Too much, because she knows she fine. And you're expendable. She could take you or leave you. A 9, that's a problem too, because you got enough people telling her she's a 10, so half of them acting that way. And by the way, the ones that ain't acting that way still require more from you than what others might. And so you got to be up on your game. That's problematic. 8, that's ideal, because that's really, really good looking. She got it going on. But at the same time, there's a level of independence that comes with it, which is never a bad thing, until she's so independent that she's making you feel like you need to be more dependent on her than she needs to be on you. So there's too many opportunities and too much time that's wasting away where you're not feeling like that dude. You're feeling like a dude, not that dude. Here's where the strong 7 comes in. Looks wise, she can compete with an 8. But her mentality is not that of an 8. So she's more appreciative of you wanting her. As a result, she shows an elevated appreciation for you wanting her. Therefore, she treats you like she wants you. And as a result, y'all have more of a good time together. Fellas, am I lying? Fellas, am I lying? Everybody know I'm telling the truth. Everybody know I'm telling the truth. This is what it is. Strong 7. Now that don't mean she ain't an 8, but strong 7. That's somebody who is an 8, but don't act like one. That's what makes her special. Those are the ones that are married. The others.
All right.
Y'all gonna put me in a position to agree with Andrea today, man. This nigga, he didn't even answer the damn question.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get Marcus in here first, man. I'm gonna get no. You want me to go to Jasmine first?
What's the question?
Well, I mean, just the reaction to what he's saying. I mean, he didn't really answer the question as far as the first one, but he did say a lot about 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s. He asked if the men agreed. Is that something that you agree with what he said?
So, yeah, I kind of do, because I think what he was speaking to more so was personality traits of the people who believe that they 8s, 9s, and 10s. And I'm a strong believer in, like, somebody that's that difficult, it's not gonna work, bro. Like, if somebody could actually look like a 10 and had an ideology, because I'm just extrapolating this from what he's saying and not using his literal words, because I'm taking from that the personality, right? Somebody that's don't appreciate you, expect the world, talk down to you, feel they better than you. That's what he was kind of describing when he said a 9 and a 10. Don't date those type of women. That shit's gonna be problematic, trash. Your life gonna be miserable. You're gonna always be in a rut, mad at the world, fighting with her, fighting with people, sleeping on the couch, all type of crazy shit. I would never deal with that. If I had to go restart life, I would know, like, don't do that. Now, I think when he was saying a 7, again, speaking of personality trait, he was saying she appreciates you and is in, like, she looks up to you. She got an affection for you, for real. And it's not about feeling like she looking down on you. She actually looks up to you. And I always advocated for that. I think it works better when women respect man or look up to the man, and the man loves the woman. Like, that's how that dynamic works. Whenever you flip it around and the woman feels she just that much better than the man, the 9-10 is how he was saying it, that relationship ain't gonna work. It's gonna be hell and torture for him until she finds somebody she actually look up to. So yeah, I agree with the sentiment from what I was pulling out of it.
Okay. Go ahead, Trev.
Now, how many times have I said this on this particular channel, right? I'm feeling like Stephen A. Smith is sneak watching your show because I've articulated that hella times for the exact reasons that he specified. The only thing that he did not mention was you yourself need to be an 8 or a 9 if you're going to go for that 7, because a woman has to love, one, admire, and respect you. And for her to do that completely, you have to be doing better than she is. She has to be able to learn from you. She has to be able to do better because of you, right? You have to add value to her life. So he's dead on with that, because if once you start getting to the 8s, 9s, and 10s, they become a headache, right? They're getting way too much attention, and you don't. It's just a lot to deal with, the mentality. And I don't believe in absolutes. Of course, there's always your outliners, right? There's always going to be some women who are 10s that just might have low self-esteem or just may not behave in that manner. That's possible, but generally, that's going to be the case. I'd say 80% of the time, if you're aiming for that group, you'll be fine. You should definitely go for a 7. I'll leave it there for now.
Okay. Andrea, I'm gonna go to you. And
Okay.
nobody cut off. Nobody let her cough. Let her finish.
So, first of all, I feel like he is making a lot of judgments on people based on how they look. And I don't think that that's really productive at all. I mean, I've always been told never judge a book by its cover. So I don't really think that it's appropriate to judge women and their like ability to compromise or their ability to be understanding or to have a good time with them because they happen to be conventionally attractive. So I don't agree with him with that. I also feel like he's kind of encouraging men to almost like, okay, I'm trying not to use trigger words. I feel like he's like encouraging men to like prey on women who might have
what the fuck?
It's
Where did she get this shit from?
No, no matter what we're talking about,
Hold on, hold on, y'all. Hold on, let her finish.
No matter what we talking about, bro.
I'm not. This is just. I'm honestly
Every
saying.
subject. I'm not preying on women.
This is what, because you know why? Because why is he sitting up here basically saying if a girl is a 7 or she's not like that attractive, she's going to be more appreciative towards you. So you should have her, because to me, it sounds like he's looking for a way to mistreat somebody and be able to have that person sticking around because they're more appreciative of them. That's what I got. Because other than that, I don't know why he would be like telling you guys, like rationalizing, lowering your standards to be with someone who's not on the same level as you. I mean, I don't know. That was
Andrea,
just
Hold on. Let her finish, Winnie. Let her finish, Winnie. Go ahead.
that was
Andrea.
just I'm done.
real
I'm
quick,
done.
didn't you just say that a man that is good looking, educated, and has his shit together must be gay just last week?
No, that's
You
not what
just said that last week.
She literally said that last week.
I said.
She literally
I
you
said
said that.
that if they're single and they're good looking and this, that, and the third, the question was asked, why are they single? And I
And
said,
you
I
said
don't.
they must be gay. So when he
I said,
says, hold on, wait. You said they must have
no,
questionability.
Hold on, Andrea. Let him finish. Let him finish.
You said that he must be, there must be something wrong with him sexual. He must not be expressing his sexuality. You alluded to him being gay. Let's just keep it a bean.
No, she
But
literally
this
said
week, when he says that when you deal with a 10, she might just be a headache, and that's not something that a man will want to endure or deal with. Then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, you're judging, you're putting them in a box, you're doing it. But you just said last week that if a man is single because he doesn't, and he's successful and he's handsome and he's good looking and he got money and he's educated, he must have a problem with his sexuality. Didn't you just put those type of men? Did you just put the 10s in a box?
I was asked a very specific question. Why is this person single if they're good looking, if they have everything, they have like the whole 9 or whatever? Why do you think this person could be single? And I said, well, maybe it's a possibility that they're struggling with their sexuality because we don't make
Why
it
would that be
comfortable.
your first? Why would that be your first thought?
Well,
Why would that
because
be
of
your
the
first? Hold on, wait.
you know,
Let me. Hold on, wait. Why would that be your first thought? Because I guarantee. Hold on, wait. Andre, I'm with you. Hold on, wait. I'm with you. Hold on. Why would that be your first thought? But if I would have asked you that question about a educated single woman who's beautiful,
you
would
gay?
not have said that. You
I
would not have said that.
because men are very much just not like. All I'm gonna say is this: a specific question was asked to me. Why is this person?
But why was that your answer?
With all,
Hold on. Let her respond.
like, I feel like you're sitting here trying to like basically you're looking for me to say something, and all I can give you is my personal experience.
I'm
I feel like
asking you why was that your answer? I'm not trying to get you to say anything.
it was
I'm
my
asking
answer.
you why was that your?
It's a real thing.
All right. So the
Hey,
thing is that because that was your answer, you applied a negative connotation to men being single, educated, and handsome. But when it comes to women, you wouldn't have done it. You would have said there was a problem with the men, or there was something wrong, or she's just living in her truth, or she wants to be single, or she just wants. But when it was a man, but now you're gonna flip back to this week. You're gonna come to this week and then say, "Oh my God, Stephen A. Smith is judging women because they're tens." I'm feeling like he's praying. He wants men to prey on them. That's bullshit.
Okay, you sound like you have a problem with me because last week was last week, and I was asked a specific question of why is this man handsome, has money, has all these different things. Why is he single? That's a very specific question to me and my thought process. And so I gave you
Exactly.
what my
I know it is because you're a misandrist.
so this is a whole new topic and a whole new
It's not a whole new topic.
Hold on, you guys. You gotta let her finish because she don't have a mic like us. So every time y'all talk, it just downs on mic. So let her say what she's gonna say.
All I'm saying is I feel like you're deflating and you're deflecting and you're like inflating two different things. Like those are two different topics. We're talking about someone and their looks and saying that they are hard to deal with and this, that, and the third because of what they look like. And then somebody was asking me a specific question of why is this person single if they have all these things going on with them? And I gave you my specific answer. I honestly feel like this is personal. So I'm gonna finish.
No, I just have a problem. I just have a problem with you giving credence to certain things when it comes to black men and you demonizing black men when it comes to certain topics, and then when it comes to somebody saying something about women in particular about the way that they look may impact the way that they behave, and then you feel a totally different type of way. So that's my issue with you because I think you're a misandrist. That's why. So if anybody has wondering why I keep going at her, because she does this all the time.
But Sweeney, women are children. I don't understand why.
Come on, Mr. Lego.
Why are you doing this?
No, because we're on the panel and we be letting her get away with saying bullshit all the time. So
She's a
yes,
child.
I'm going to call back to the things that you say in the past because it's relevant today because you contradict yourself, or you're a hypocrite.
She's a hypocrite.
That's the talking point and not address the person. Let's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we said that she's a hypocrite for saying something different last week to this week.
Let her be her.
Attacking
No.
We gotta accept women.
Or are you talking about him calling her a child?
We gotta accept women for who they are, bro.
Child thing. Just
what is a
argue the point.
misandrist? What is a misandrist?
A woman that hates men or somebody that experiences hate towards the male species.
You don't think that she hasn't said over the last 4 weeks, she hasn't said anything that has been alluding to the fact that she just may be a misandrist?
So
okay,
if somebody is it's her personal opinion.
I think women who haven't had good experiences with men have a certain mindset about men.
Right.
And it just takes for her to grow and actually experience different men. I think honestly, what I truly see, I truly see that there is some type of hurt there, and there's no one that's there to be patient with you. There's no one there to actually comfort you. I asked on my show on Monday, are men patient enough to teach women? And I don't think that men are patient enough to actually hold a space for women who have been hurt in this day and age. In this day and age, y'all don't care.
This is
Y'all
unfair.
Hold on,
This
Sweeney.
is unfair
Sweeney,
because if a man
Sweeney,
would have got on here,
Sweeney, I just
go
want to
ahead,
say
bro. Go
something.
ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Did you hear what Precious just said? Because
I
this
heard
is
it.
what I'm saying. There's a certain when I say women are children, people, oh my God, but there's a certain acceptance in me when I say women are children. It's not an insult, it's an allowance, it's an understanding. Women are gonna do dumb shit, say dumb shit. So when you're like, oh, you're a misandrist, and she might say, oh, you're a narcissist. We're men. We can take it.
Mr. Let Go.
Women can't because they're children.
Mr. Let Go.
So
Mr.
you
Let Go.
can't just. But did you hear what Precious
I
said?
heard what she said, but I don't care.
Why did you go
well,
at her
I don't
like
care
that?
not in that way, Precious. What I'm saying is because if a man got on this panel and said
If
some
a
of the
man got
hold on,
on
wait. No, bro. I'm an
You're
equal
not
opportunity. Hold on,
men.
wait. I'm an equal opportunity. I'm not gonna sit here and give her a scapegoat. Because if a man would have got on this panel and said some of the same things that she done alluded to about men over the last 4 weeks, he would be called a misogynist. I would call him a misogynist. So I'm calling it what it is. And what drives me crazy is that we always try to excuse shit and then be like, oh, well, no, we don't just talk to him enough. We don't. How many times we given her rope on this show? We done tried over and over and over again. People have tried to converse with her, try to get her. As a matter of fact, just last week.
Listen to Precious.
What
Go ahead,
exactly is your goal, Sweeney? Because this is a panel. So if you
Yeah.
want to speak to her one-on-one, you could do that. But this is a panel. You can't go back and forth with somebody on a panel if you already know a zebra is not going to change their stripes. So if you already know that that's the case, why go back and as a man? Why go back and forth?
I will answer your question because we're on the panel is the reason why I'm willing to go back and forth with her, because I'm not here to convince her to change who she is. I'm here to show everybody else exactly what she is and call it out. And call it
out for what though?
And call it out because a lot of people like to ignore it when things are being said. Hold on, wait.
What's the purpose?
What do you mean? What's the purpose? Then what's the
What is
point
the
of all
purpose
of
of
us
calling it out?
so that people can recognize it and see it and know what it looks like. That's the point. That's the point. It's not. I'm not here to change Andrea's mind on anything. However, when she says things and when she calls men certain things, or when she spits out certain things that are terrible about black men, I'm here to call that out because she's putting something out there in the universe that is not true. So when she's being a misandrist, I'm willing to call it out and call it what it is. That way, so people can recognize what a misandrist looks like.
Okay.
It's not here to. I'm not here to make her not a misandrist.
I think it's a fair point to debate any point that she makes. Just let her get it out and then refute it and tear it down. It don't have to.
My issue is this one thing: when you say you are a misandrist, just go back and forth with her. Like when you start, because she's wrong for calling us narcissists and all this crazy shit, right? But I'm always saying women are children. They always gonna say stupid shit. We men have the responsibility to not say the same stupid shit back to them. So I agree with everything you said until you start saying you're a misandrist. Because
we already had this conversation,
she's
Mr. Lego.
trolling, bro. She
I get
comes
what you're
on
saying.
here and she's trolling. Let her do her thing. I troll sometimes.
Yeah, and I call you out for it too.
But the thing about it is we gotta allow people to be themselves, bro. Like Precious said, like what the hell? Calm down.
Make for a more entertaining show too. If we all get up here and agree.
Thank you, Marcus.
This is wild.
Thank you, Marcus.
I think that Sweeney, I think this is personal.
How would it be personal if I don't
Hold
know?
on, let her finish.
I feel like we have these conversations, and I feel like everyone on this panel has conflicting views. There's a lot of people on this panel that I disagree with when it comes to a lot of points, but I'm able to still speak with them and engage with them amicably without it being a personal attack against this person. I mean, there's women on here that I may disagree with that look at marriage differently than I do, and we can come together and have an understanding and recognize that our points may be completely different, but we still respect each other.
Oh, really now?
I feel
Casey.
Hold on, let her finish.
Finish, bro. Shit.
Casey, real quick, did she have an amicable conversation with you 3 weeks ago? Didn't she just go at Trigger Mike just 2 weeks ago and all he did was ask a question? Wasn't she on here? Wasn't she on this panel calling people fat and chubby and everything else? But you can do amicably. All I said was she was a misandrist,
I don't completely disagree with Sweeney. At the same time, like it's certain things I'm not gonna engage in because that's not who I am. That's not my DNA. So someone can call me a name or whatever all day. Like that's not how I was raised. I don't call black men names. I don't call black women names. I'm just not gonna do it. But I am gonna speak up for myself when it comes to disrespect, because this is a public platform. We're not in our own little silo having a conversation within each other. We're not, at someone's house having a conversation. This is a public platform. So I do understand Sweeney wanting to call certain things out. I don't feel that he's wrong in doing that, but you don't have to add names to it. You can just call it what it is. And it is wrong because at the same time, if you call a man who's successful, attractive, and single, if you call him homosexual, you have to say the same thing about a black woman who's educated, single, and attractive as well. So that's all he's saying, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. But just leave the names out of it, Sweeney, because if you don't want her calling names and
You
calling
can't do
derogatory
the same
terms,
thing.
then you can't do it either. It's
Thank
not
you.
appropriate.
That's all I'm
Here's the
saying.
here's the thing.
Real quick,
Let me respond to that.
because I
Let me respond to that.
he
Let me
And,
just
respond. Go
and
ahead.
then
Let
we
me
do
respond.
gotta, and
Want
then
to
we do gotta
respond? We're
transition.
trying to
No,
correct you.
hold on. And then we do gotta transition back because I feel like we
You can't
having.
respond to correction.
I just want to say something because I feel like you guys are putting a lot on me and you guys are reaching. I have never called anyone on this panel fat. Since this panel here, I've never called anybody fat. I've never called anybody out of their names. I've never called black men out of their names. So I feel like you guys are sitting here reaching. If you ask me a specific question about a topic and we're talking about why do I think someone has all these beautiful, attractive traits about them, and I personally think from what I've seen, maybe they could possibly be struggling with their sexuality. Towards that specific conversation,
That's your own
you guys
opinion.
decide. If you guys decide to get triggered, that's not my fault.
Right,
It's
I
not my
agree.
fault if it bothers
I
you.
agree.
I've sat here and been called prostitutes on this panel. I've sat here and been told I've been sleeping on a mattress on this panel. So if you guys are really, really that, if you're really that triggered, maybe this isn't the best spot for you.
I agree.
All right, y'all. All right, come on.
No,
Hey,
Sweeney,
hey.
no.
Hold on, y'all. I'm ready to move on. People are watching. You know,
No.
we can have this on the downtime. Let's
Right.
ready to connect the topic. Stephen A. Smith on natural women versus BBLs. Dating 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Who haven't spoken on it yet?
I haven't spoken on it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Casey.
I'll just say something real quick. I mean, I feel like he has a point, but at the same time,
Can we move
I think he's speaking
on?
from a point of men who are not 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s. I feel like when a man is a 7, 8, 9, or 10, like some of the stuff that he was saying is not going to apply to them. Like this whole needing respect or getting attention. If your man is attractive, like, and he's that dude, he's gonna get just as much as attention and have women throwing themselves at him just like men throw themselves at the 7, at the 8, 9s, and 10s. So I feel like he was speaking from a point for a man not being that, maybe a man being a 5 or 6, attracting a 7, 8, 9, and 10 because of his lifestyle or his money. But at the end of the day, if you have a man who's a 7, 8, 9, and 10 and he has money and everything else, he's gonna get just as much of attention and craziness of a lifestyle as the woman is too. So I think he was just speaking for men that don't live that life. That's all I have.
All right, go ahead, Lego.
So I totally agree with Casey. If you look at Stephen A. Smith, he probably can't really get or hold on to 9 or 10, right? But on top of that, I understand his sentiment because it's a guy thing, right? So kind of like what Andre was saying, like, why is he did it? He kind of like went a little too far, or he went a little crazy, like because I've dated fitness models, right? And they are extremely annoying.
Oh,
and
really?
I can understand that. And from a relationship standpoint, I would not get into a relationship with an IG model or a fitness model due to the fact that, like I say on here with me, I'm not, huge on IG or like other people, but I am in front of a lot of women. And I said, anybody who has a lot of eyes on them, whether it's a male or female, the other person can easily have a certain amount of issues with that, whether they're going to cheat, whether they're not going to cheat, you know. So whether it's an IG model that has a lot of eyes on her, or a person that tours that has a lot of eyes on them, it's the eyes that makes it difficult. So with Stephen A. Smith, I agree, but I also disagree, because I don't think he can get a 10, and that's going to want to stick around or whatever. So I can understand why he would say that, what Casey said. But y'all are, you know, when y'all are like 9s and 10s, there is a huge amount of annoyance. I can deal with annoyance. I'm okay with it, but that shit is annoying as hell. So
I just want to say it's a lot of like, so I got to acknowledge that even with what he was saying, thinking about through my life, I go in with bias when dating those type of women, because it's almost like you have to prove that you're not the way that he was saying before it could even be taken, you know what I'm saying, serious to move forward. Because it is a lot of that, and even in this day and age, it's perpetuated more. But what you see is what's popping for a woman to be like, and that's that boss, you know what I'm saying, that boss bitch, that what's the term they use now, Miss Lego, you know what I'm talking about?
Independent woman,
A
boss,
baddie?
A baddie,
baddies.
right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that whole persona is kind of like, nah, that's not for a relationship, not none long
Right.
term.
It's a
And it's kind of
disposition with them.
right, and
A
it's kind of like,
demeanor. It's a demeanor.
yeah,
It's a
that whole
demeanor.
demeanor. But if you look like that and then you have a normal or a pleasant personality, you can get the world. You're gonna win. Because who don't want that? You know, who don't want that? So it's a negative and a plus if you play it right.
So
It's a
from a
negative and a plus.
relationship standpoint, he's right. From a dating standpoint, he's wrong. Stephen A. Smith, not Marcus.
Right. Yeah.
I would not get into a long-term relationship with a 10.
Right. And we talked about this before when we were saying men get in relationships with women sometimes that don't view him as that guy to her, right? And it sounded like the 9s and 10s that he was dating, because I'm sure he get them. The groupies around the NBA, NFL, sports events, and like celebrity parties, they are some of the most beautiful women in the world, hands down. But I guarantee they don't actually like him for him. They around him for status, clout, and money. And that can jade your opinion on women if you're constantly dealing with women that don't actually like you. And it'll come off that way. So at least he kind of got a solution for himself, which is to date a more of an average, because he more of an average looking woman in his eyes, or somebody he find attractive but has a good person. That is the solution to a long-term relationship, I think. Somebody that actually wants you versus somebody that's there when the market fluctuates, they're gonna leave you because you don't got enough money next year, next month, or crypto fall and it's over for you. Like
What does 8, 9s, and 10s typically date?
they usually go like on like dates. So
athletes.
Yeah, athlete, but it don't be long-term relationships. It'd be a lot of flings. Like fly here, kick it here, go to the club this weekend, go to bottle service and alternate between groups. Like
Who was that girl who got all that money from OnlyFans from that? Was it the white guy? Was it a white guy? She got like all this money from.
She did what?
You talking about the rapper, Precious?
Yeah, it was a girl who got.
I forget her name. She's a rapper, y'all.
Right?
What happened? You talking about?
No, the rapper with the.
She got all
like tall and slender.
What happened though? We don't understand. What
A
happened.
guy paid her like $62,000 a month.
Oh.
On OnlyFans. I forget her name too, Precious. She doesn't have any like songs out right now.
What would you rate her though?
The girl?
Yeah.
Her body is like really, really nice.
Ruby Rose.
Yeah, Ruby Rose. That's what it is.
She bad.
Yeah.
So
right, but what was he though? The guy.
Oh, he was like a 5 or 4.
Dude was an incel, straight up. But my question to Marcus though is, so we know what 8, 9s, and 10s typically date, because I know you said something along the lines of Stephen A. Smith probably can't get an 8, 9, or 10 that's genuine, or this, that, and the third. Do we have an example of an 8, 9, or 10 that doesn't fit that criteria?
I think the
That's the
ones
point,
who
right? I think that's the point.
So wouldn't he technically be right?
From a dating
Yeah.
standpoint versus a relationship standpoint, he's right on one side but wrong on the other side.
But I mean, but we don't have an example of a lot of 8, 9s, and 10s being successfully in relationships. One of the baddest women on the planet, who was Halle Berry, can't keep a man.
But that's kind of like what we're saying because there's a disposition.
I know, but what I'm saying though is I'm not saying that what he said is actually true. I'm just asking y'all because y'all saying, hey, look, well, he must not be able to, you know what I mean? He must be getting different results because of XYZ, but we can't even come up with an example where there was an 8, 9, or 10 that didn't fit the criteria. At least that what we.
You
I'm
don't think
sorry,
Beyonce fits the criteria?
No, Beyonce is a strong 7.
So a lot of the women that I've seen that's 8, 9, and 10s that actually be in relationships, they typically they be homebodies. They shy away from being out in the public sphere. So it wouldn't be like because a woman that wants to gravitate towards fame and stardom, it kind of has a personality archetype that goes along with that. So
I mean, I'm not
those
even.
type of women would be.
I'm not even like we've seen celebrity men's wives. Like they're not they're not completely
And
in
they
where you
used to be
can't see
7s.
them. That's what I'm saying though. So we don't even have an example of an 8, 9, or 10 because we know celebrity men, these men that's at this level. We said that the first question I asked was, what do 8, 9s, and 10s typically date? We know that they're wealthy,
Athletes.
famous, or athletes or something like that, right?
Yeah,
You know,
hyper.
Kelly Rowland is an 8, 9, or 10, and her husband is not an 8, 9, or 10.
Let me
That's
say
just an
this.
example.
I literally asked a woman,
her husband is
because
not.
I'm in Atlanta. I literally asked a woman, let me ask you this. If you were walking through Lenox Square Mall and I think she said Usher, she had a crush, she loved Usher out of, crushes, right? I said, and Usher literally just looked at you and was just like, I just want to take you out to eat. I don't know if you got a boyfriend. And I said, you going? She was like, and he just want to take me out to eat? I said, yeah. She said, I'll go. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's the thought process. When you're extremely beautiful and somebody that you see on TV or your celebrity crush in Atlanta, you're going to run into that person at some point. And if you got a boyfriend, most likely you're going to go. The celebrity is not going to go after or go crazy over the 7 walking through the mall, but he will go after the 10. And next thing you know, he just got your bitch. That's part of it right there. An athlete is going to grab your woman and she's going to go, and there's nothing you can do about it.
All right, y'all, let me get Jasmine in now. I know you've been seeing a lot going on, Jasmine. What are your thoughts about it?
Oh, I would just say it doesn't matter what number she is, as long as she's confident, because dating somebody that's insecure is way more problems than dating somebody that's a 10, because then you always got to worry about them going through your phone or always stressing you out like, oh my God, you looking at that girl? Are you looking at that? Like, you always got to worry about them always questioning your every move. So if they're a strong 7 or a strong 10, as long as they're good to you, they're nice and they're giving, then that's your person. And versus natural versus BBL, if they went to the right doctor, I'm sure that butt would be looking real nice. So, as long as it look real and it feel real, go for it. I mean,
no man,
feel good.
No man, you're trash if you go get all that shit done.
I said, do whatever makes you feel good. What if you have completely no ass and no titties? I know a girl that she was flat her whole life, and then she decided to get an A cup. Like, you know how small A cup is? Like, she got an A cup just because she wanted to have at least a little bump. Because she's like, she feels so much better. Like, I can wear bras now. I can just do, like, she just did that for herself, for no one but her. So it's just.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
They get hair pieces because they've been bald their whole life, but they got bald in spots, but they feel so confident with their waves and stuff. Now they can get them done. Do whatever enhancement. That's what the enhancements are here for. But don't go crazy with it. I mean, don't get like triple D's and you got pencil legs. Like, I don't know. Like, just
that part.
Make sense
That
to
was
your body.
trash. That was trash.
Diaper booty.
I agree.
Ain't booties.
All right, let me get to Stacy. Go ahead, Stacy.
I was just taken aback that there's an actual rubric for us out there. But listening and trying to see where they are coming from. I guess, I can see where he's coming from. But overall, I think he is saying that he wants some form of balance. And I think that's what a little bit what everybody wants is someone who is beautiful, intelligent, caring, having all of those characteristics. So, one can think highly of themselves. But I believe to partner with somebody, to partner with a man, to partner with a woman, you want the perfect fit. And just to hear him say a 7, not a 5, that's not, halfway there, but a 7, I guess it's a sweet number for, him to place, an individual in that place. But overall, I'm just here for the balance. Everybody's, saying different things, and I'm natural. I don't know where I got this shape from, but I'm natural. And I thought to myself one day, if I did not have a shape, could I be as confident? And I think I would be just as confident if I were not shaped like like I am. So, but yeah, I do think that, all of those characteristics play a major part.
So, can I jump in real quick, Jay? I gotta ask you a question. So I seen this show, it's a cartoon called Lookism on Netflix, right? And it was discussing the idea of your confidence deriving from the treatment that you've received throughout your life. So with different treatment, do you think that you still would be able to maintain that same level of confidence and security within yourself when in reality, when the people you wanted or the things you wanted did not go exactly the way you wanted, and you're blaming, and not you specifically, but people who do this in the past, blame it on like they looks or they height or this or whatever the metric that they're being judged against, and then that kind of creates an energy that they move through the world with. How do you think you would have been able to maintain that in that scenario where you weren't blessed with the body that you presumably have, or the attractiveness feature? How do you
After
think you would have been
Stacey
able to
goes, I
maintain
want to
it?
go on this one, please. Go ahead, Stacey.
Even earlier when Andrea was saying the word fast, that's a trigger word for me. Because people assumed that because I was coming up and I had a big butt that I was gonna be fast. And your girl was a little slow. I wasn't the brightest crayon in the box. The world was, I just didn't know what I had. And so that was a trigger for me. But I thought to myself, because most of the time I feel like my shape, my body has attracted some of the worst things. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wish I did not have a big butt. I wish I wasn't shaped like this. I did, because I feel like it has attracted the wrong things. It made me stand out from the rest, and it hadn't worked so well for me. And then now that I'm more empowered and more knowledgeable, I dress different, but she's still coming through. But I feel like if I wasn't built the way that I was built, that I still would be confident because of who I am and whose I am. I come from a strong background. My mom's from Alabama, hardworking. My dad being Nigerian, so there's a lot of work ethic. Very dominant. So with that being said, it's like, it's really environment for me.
That's a shame, because you should be able to dress however way you want to without feeling like the wrong attention is going to be put onto you because of how you're dressing. Because it's regardless of what you put on, it's your body, and nobody is allowed to whatever. But I think that it's like just Stephen A. Smith's whole entire talking point. I feel like it just came from a very negative place, because there are women are shaped differently everywhere. So women can be beautiful whether they have big chest or a big butt or whatever, they're still beautiful. So I think it's just really asinine for somebody who probably has a beer belly and a receding hairline to feel like he can be so choosy and selective anyways.
Wow, look at you attacking a person.
So
what is your
just to
Hold on, Sweeney. She was talking about me, Sweeney.
Don't get triggered, Andre. It's all good.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Casey.
So what Marcus just asked, this y'all talking about triggers, this has like been something really on the forefront of my mind, but just being in postpartum and being an athlete and a professional dancer my entire life. Started dancing at 3, and then after dance, I went into coaching and then fitness. So my entire life, from the outside world, I was always perceived a certain way, because before you can speak, how you carry yourself and your body type, a lot of times, regardless whether you have control over it or not, is what you attract, right? My husband was a professional baseball player. Like, so I basically, you have a certain persona, and being before children, I always attracted, certain type of people and certain type of respect based off of my body type and how I carry myself, right? Like, I've always been, hit on by military, firefighters, police officers, because I display a certain spirit of discipline. And also, I've always been like extremely fit. So postpartum comes, or babies and pregnancy comes, and not having any control over how your body changes, and the things that your body will go through, because it needs to move and grow and stretch in order to create children, going through birthing two children vaginally and then having a miscarriage. You're talking about, my body has changed tremendously from what it was, and now I'm getting back to that now after a third pregnancy. The world has really like changed in what I, without speaking, even though I can dress similarly to what I dressed before in postpartum, but attracting a different type of man, attracting different people, not having that automatic assumption of, oh my God, you must be in fitness, or, oh my God, you must be an athlete, not having those initial reactions with people that I've had all of my life. So your body type, how you are, will attract different people based on, what the world receives of you. My mother has always been a 0 to 2 her entire life. She didn't have any boobs, she didn't have any butt. My father liked that Model S type. My mom was that body type. And crazy, ironically, she was teased for it all of grade school, because she was called, olive oil, and she was skinny and tall and slender. Now, like, oh my God, she's praised for it. Oh my God, look at you. You didn't gain weight over the years. You look like a model still. Now, the same women that went to high school with her, or, didn't want nothing to do with her, were jealous of her. Now they're praising her because, she's kept herself at a certain stance. And she's never felt the need to get a boob job or get no booty, because my father, she was confident in who herself. And my father loved, the tall, statuesque, slender woman. So I feel like when you are who you are, going back to what Stacey O says, you have to like stay true to what you like and who you are, and not be swayed by, different things in the world. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. And I do believe in whatever you need to do to feel good, to maintain a who you are, you got to do that. You shouldn't feel the woes of the world. If you're slender, rock that slender body. There's tons of men who want that size 0 to 4, that slender, tall woman. They don't care about no boobs. They don't care about no booty and no hips. And there's men, if you got the booty and the hips, that need and love the booty and the hips and the boobs. So you just got to go for who's going to love you for you, and do what you need to do for yourself. But don't be swayed about what other women got going on, because you don't want to look like nobody else anyway. You want to be the best version of you.
Marcus, did we like sort of answer the question, or?
So I was specifically trying to figure out how, like, have you ever seen that Dave Chappelle skit where the girl was like, "Oh, I wish I didn't have no breast." Then they took her breast away, and then she couldn't get nobody to help her with her groceries, and she couldn't, like, her whole life changed.
Yeah.
Like, how would y'all respond living in a world where, like, how you were just talking about? So imagine, Casey, how you say your body's changed after the childbirth. Imagine if you just never had I've seen you didn't change like dramatically or nothing like that.
To me,
it might not be
to me,
exactly the same, but I'm saying, imagine if you just wasn't attractive to begin with, to the opposite sex. Would you still be able to maintain that type of confidence walking through this world?
Yeah, it's still like something to your confidence, because you're like, hold the hell up. Like, I'm still the person internally, right? I'm still that disciplined person, but at the moment, I'm not cut up like I was with, a 6-pack walking around. So it's like, I I'm literally, I'm like, this is so weird. And even women like treat me differently based on that. Now, when I starts to speak, I'm the same person. I'm like, you're the same person. You still give off that same energy. Yeah, when I open my mouth. But with me just being silent, it attracts, and I've attracted different people based on and gotten a different level of respect or different treatment. It does shake your psyche. It does shake your psyche. I'm not. You're not gonna. You can't sit in here for a person who has like a broke leg, maybe an athlete or something. All of a sudden they're bedridden and they can't go, run 6 miles every day, and they can't keep everything they eat goes to their body, and all of a sudden they gain 50 pounds in 3 months. That's going to messes with your psyche. If the world receives you differently than what you already have been used to your entire life, it will shake a man or a woman alike. It's going to shake you. And you're still going to be the same person mentally and internally. You're going to be that same person, but your confidence, and you're going to be like, well, damn, it makes you feel like the people that go, like the bosses that put on like they put on the disguise and go into their business as a worker, and they see like with the, you know what I'm talking about, Precious, they see how like people receive them and treat them without them knowing that they're the boss. But like when they're the boss, like they get different treatment. It's like the same exact thing. You know what it's like on both sides. Now I can't speak for nobody who don't know any different. Like if you've always received people one way your whole life, then it is what it is. But if you go through something, it could be a car accident. Like just think about like a person who's like extremely attractive. And I actually know a person, and like shout out to my homeboy. He a really, really attractive dude I went to college with. He had a crazy reaction to some freaking dermatologist medication, y'all. And now he has a skin disease from that medication. He went all the way to college being viewed as this, this Greek, this dude that get all this attention, and then all of a sudden his quote unquote, beauty, or what everybody looked at him as being handsome, all his skin has been like stripped from him. So he doesn't look the same at all. And it's from like most people that know him, like, oh my God, like you're still beautiful, like you're still attractive, you're still an attractive man. Like you can, he's an advocate for the disease that he developed from the medication. But like this stuff like that really does happen to people, where they may be like this way and they receive a whole different type of vibe after some type of life altering situation. It happens.
But I think anybody would, have that issue. Men are like that when they're broke, and then when they have money, and then the guy would turn around and have money and end up being broke again, and then he gets treated differently. So now he sees when you're broke, you got money, and then you don't made it, and then for some reason you don't lost some money, and then you broke again. And then you lose everything all over again, and you're like, "Damn, what the hell?" So yeah,
I would say to Marcus's question, we're being a bit disingenuous, because I guarantee you can go to talk to any person that lost it, and they will tell you how it makes them. And Casey kind of cleaned it up at the end, and actually, started speaking the truth to it. But like, if you go to any person that lost their beauty, that lost their, what made them attractive to the vast majority of people that got them a particular response, they will tell you like, no, the confidence is not there. They don't have that same level of confidence. They don't have that same level of oomph behind them when they lose their beauty. Or for example, what Mr. Lego said, a man that loses all his money, he don't have that same confidence about him to be able to walk into a room and think he can command a room the same way that he once did. Same thing with women. You go and talk to a woman that actually lost her beauty, that got a scar, or to Casey's point, a woman that may have caught a skin condition that made her unattractive to the vast majority of people when she used to be that woman. That confidence is not there, and actually, it's the reason why so many people try to come around them and affirm them, but it's hard to affirm a person when their reality tells them something differently. Like you know what I mean? There was there was this campaign that went on through, I can't remember what company it was. I think it was one of the Johnson & Johnson. I can't remember which one it was, a Leaf, whatever. And they were trying to promote like inclusivity, where they were saying, okay, well, we're going to bring in bigger women in gaming
Dove,
and things like that.
Oh my gosh, it was
Dove.
Dove.
Yeah,
I
it was
hate
Dove, I
that.
believe. And
Where they had brown, like a brown
yeah,
shirt on or
Yeah.
whatever. But that
Yeah.
was, I hated that.
and so
was
and
nobody
so
else?
what happened was that
That was black.
while was that the same? I don't know if that was the same thing, but I do know that no, it wasn't that. It wasn't Dove. My bad. It was another. It was another program I was watching.
No.
Man, bro, chill out. It was another program while I was watching. They were
Bears.
talking to a woman in a wheelchair, and everybody was calling her, "Oh man, you're so beautiful. You sexy. You this. You that." But she, in her mind, in her reality, when they went and asked her behind closed doors, she was like, "While I appreciate the affirmation, her real life was not yielding the same results that people were telling her, and she felt that, and that's why she lacked the confidence that." And everybody was sitting there like, "I don't get why you're not so confident. You're so beautiful." But she's recognizing like, yeah, while y'all are telling me all of this, the world is telling me something totally different. How men respond to me is something totally different. How people view me is something totally different. And that's why I think we're being disingenuous when we say that, oh man, my confidence will still be up if I
I
lost
mean, it's
XYZ.
mental.
Sure.
It's mental. I can speak and say, like last year, I began to lose the pigmentation from my skin underneath my eye, and I said to myself, because I had to build myself up, and I said, well, this is different, but I know I'm living a life, things change. And so before I went to the dermatologist, I was like, okay, well, maybe, I'm going to lose my pigmentation. That was something I had to accept within myself. So it does go back to people's environment, people's relationship with self, because I came to a point where I'm still going to be that girl with this pigmentation on my eye. And my man backed that up. But in myself, I made up my mind that I love me so much that regardless of how I show up, I don't even look at the scale now. I used to look at the scale all the time. Honey, I'm at the point in my life, I look good, I feel good. And if I feel like I want to like lose some weight, it's like maybe if my stomach protrudes over my private area, if I'm like, okay, my stomach is bulking out, let me do this or let me do that. But just like Casey, I dance, I coach. Even throughout my pregnancy with my son, like I swam the whole pregnancy, I lift weights, but I did that within myself. And so it is a personal thing. It's how you view yourself. And thank God for for medicine. And I was able to get cream from the dermatologist, and they were like, oh, it's gonna take years. It took like 3 months to clear up pigmentation that was just like, it kept growing. I was going white. So but it's all mind over matter. I mean, it's who you are, how confident you are in self. And your brain is a muscle. What you believe about yourself is like a muscle. How do you condition yourself? How do you condition, how you show up in the world? Because I always think to myself, they don't pay my bills. They don't pay my bills. They don't pay my bills. And so it's a motivator for me.
The reason I asked,
I'll
because I
say
read
this.
the
I'll
reason
say
I
this.
asked.
Control what you can control.
No, we're gonna go to Claire. We're gonna go to
Control.
Claire Marcus, and then we're gonna move on, y'all, to the last topic.
All right. I'll just say control what you can control, right? Let's say you were a young lady who didn't have anybody at all, right? Anybody who's into fitness, I know you do it, Leco. There's a million exercises that you can do to amplify your bottom size. That's just the facts, right? It's not very much you can do about the top, but a lot of us, if you got a really nice one, we're not really that concerned about the top, for real. And it's also the way that you diet. JR just threw 2 joints that you could put on your skin to make yourself look good naturally, right? So it's just about the way you present it. You're going to get different energy, and it's not just subject to women. I could change the energy real quick. If I start throwing on some hoochie daddy shorts, the energy is definitely going to be different. The attention is definitely going to be different. Some good, probably mostly bad. But depending on how I present it is the type of attention that I'm going to get. I know suits are universally respected. If I go out with a suit, it's a different type of energy than if I just throw on a t-shirt. And that's universal. So just do whatever you can as an individual to enhance the way that you look naturally. And your confidence will build. You'll get a lot better attention than you probably were otherwise.
So the reason I asked, because I read.
Can we go to the next topic? Vagina is just drying up all over the country right now. Just
Go ahead.
No, Marcus, don't let him do that
go
to
ahead,
you, bro.
Marcus. Then we're gonna go to the next
The
topic.
vaginas, y'all, like, think about the vaginas out there watching. Nobody wants to hear this shit.
Go ahead. We're gonna go to Marcus, and then we're gonna go to the next topic. Go ahead, Marcus. Finish your thought.
The whole reason I was asking.
The women, y'all, not just the guys, just all y'all. Like, nobody cares. Like, come on, y'all.
Okay. The reason I asked was because I read a book called As a Man Thinketh, and I was wondering how much of your thought process dictates your outcome. So if you like you could look your best but feel like you looking your worst, would that then in turn make your outcomes be similar to your worst? And you could be your worst but feel like you your best, and could you have outcomes similar to your best? That was just my general question. It's something I've been playing with in my mind. We can go to the next.
All right, appreciate that, Marcus. Yeah, just tune in. Welcome to Lapeef Network. Make sure you mute in between. I'm hearing some feedback from somebody. Let me get to these super chats, and then we get to the main topic. Congo Wings $5 says concur. Prayer. Devin Braxton $5. Andrea's on the panel to show how not to be. She lives in her own bubble and fails to understand the world. She is the 9 Stephen A. spoke about. Congo Wings $5 says Andrea. She doesn't like black men unless she can control the narrative. The Red Pill Ranger $5 says Stephen A. Smith is wealthy and famous. He can get 9s or 10s, no problem. He also has confidence and a strong personality. Ink in the basement, Simmons Lego is out here eating chicks' asses like Pac-Man. The Red Pill Ranger $5 says I find this hilarious because the vast majority of people are average. That's why the beautiful people stand out so much. We a world of 4s and 6s. Congo English $5 says concur. Stacey O in response to Stephen deposition. Derek Braxton $5 says Andrea, men can have standards, but women walk on the water and above men expectations. And lastly, the Red Pill Ranger $5 says confidence without the outcome / reality to match is, what's that? Akin? Alkin?
Yeah, akin.
Akin? I don't even know what that word means. I got to look it up. Akin to delusion, we need to stop promoting these damn lies. I thank everybody that's contributed to the platform. Let's make sure we hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, time to get to the main topic, which is men value respect and women value safety. I want to focus on that safety aspect because I hear women often say that they look for safety and that's what kind of keeps them around. But from the men, I don't really hear that. I guess we do hear it in the form of protection, but I don't think a lot of people exercise it. They don't understand the importance of it maybe when they are in relationships and marriages. So we'll go ahead and play this clip and then we'll go ahead and get to it.
Accept the reality that men take respect over love any day. Any day, every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Respect me before you love me. And then women position themselves where it's like, well, I'll take safety over love.
Damn. Safety, huh?
So as long as I feel safe with you, I don't have to be in love with you. Because I'll marry the man that I respect before I marry the man that I'm in love with.
You know what? Whew. When you say that out loud,
She ain't lie.
that makes some sense.
Yeah, no, she didn't lie. I have no rebuttals. Because even the safety immediately when you said safety, I'm like, no. In my head, I'm like, no, they want to marry somebody that's financially keeping them safe.
And it's so many different
protect.
It's so many different layers to safety.
But mine emotional keeping them safe.
But I don't have to be in love with my husband because I'm not going to always.
You're not going to always.
No. Yeah. But if I'm safe, where the I'm going? I'm right here.
All right, men value respect and women value safety. I'm gonna go ahead and start with you first, Jasmine. I'm gonna get to the ladies.
I definitely agree with that statement just because I've dealt with that in my own personal relationships. It's very much I noticed that once you lose respect for your partner in the relationship, it definitely takes a turn for the worse because at that point now the conversations aren't productive. The arguments are very much just pointless at that, because nothing's gonna get through. And if you're arguing about respect versus safety, like I do value safety, and I mean safety not even just in a financial sense, but in a just peace of mind sense. Like I got to know that you got my back when we go places. I got to know that you're not talking about me with friends and other people, or putting our business out there, things like that. Like I want to feel safe to share my past traumas and things like that with you, and know that you're going to hold that to a high regard and not throw it back in my face at another moment. So these can always be definitely what do you call it, a breaking point in a relationship for sure, because I know I've definitely been disrespectful to a man or two in my life, and I know it's because I had lost respect because of something that had happened in the relationship, and it's a hard truth.
Jasmine, I got a question for you, and you don't have to answer from your personal, but just what would cause a woman to lose respect for a man?
It could be a number of things. I know in some relationships it was because maybe he cheated, maybe he was verbally, emotionally abusive, or he just didn't protect me in the way that whatever I communicated my expectations were, he didn't stay up to those expectations. So then by that point, it's like, now I'm trying to just hold on to the relationship, but I've lost respect for you. And that could just because of, we're just trauma bonding, or we're just, trying to maintain a situation that we're now locked into, like a lease or something like that. But you can tell the respect is gone at a point.
Okay. Andrea, I'm coming to you next. No, you've been patiently waiting. Men value respect and women value safety. What are your thoughts about it?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really. I don't have anything to say.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go. I didn't topic. I think that men definitely do value respect. I think that women value security. I think that encompasses safety, which also encompasses consistency, right? So if we say that women's currency is attention, it doesn't always have to be a certain type of attention, but a woman does value a man who is consistent. If a man is consistent, he is going to make a woman feel secure. And in that security, that's where she's like, well, I don't feel like where am I going to go? But he does everything that I need him to do, and he does it on a consistent basis. It's not when you feel good or when everything is high in the relationship, and then when everything is low, you're acting a certain type of way. You have a consistent way about you, and that's what women love in men that they're going to marry. It's like, I know I'm not going to get hot and cold. And same with men who want to marry a woman. It's like, I know I'm not going to get hot and cold, but as long as she respects that man, he definitely does value that. But I think for women, I mean, we want to feel safe, but safety comes in, to me, consistency. It's like when you can be consistent, I know that I'm safe because I don't have anything to question. It's kind of like what Stacey O was saying last week with her man, how she couldn't find the words. She couldn't find the words, but she knew, she felt in her heart, she feels in her heart that her man is for her. It's probably because he's consistent, and that consistency makes her feel secure. Women want to feel secure. If a woman doesn't feel secure, that's when she starts to go look for the attention elsewhere. That's when she starts talking different and now mouthing off to you and saying certain things to you that she didn't used to say. It's because one, she's not being consistent, because I think a woman has to be consistent too. It's not just on the man. She's not being consistent in her feelings towards you, which comes from respect, right? That's what she's supposed to be giving the man. If she's not consistently respecting you and you're not consistently making her feel secure, then the balance on both is going to be off. But I think that men definitely value respect because, like I said, this is a man's world, but it would be nothing without a little girl, a little boy or girl, right? So it's like, you have to understand that women need security.
Ooh, I got a question for the ladies.
Hold on, before you answer that question, let me get to Stacy. Go ahead, Stacy.
Yeah, I totally agree. That safety is definitely, that's a big factor. I do feel protected. I can't say in my relationship. I mean, so much so, like, he is a man, and he's a man's man in a sense where, even if we're walking on a street, if we switch sides, this man, he's already guiding me on the inside. And so that physical component is important, in addition to the fact of, how are you guarding me? Even when I'm not around, my physical presence isn't there. He knows that I'm respecting him, because, there are men that approach me or, try to pursue me, but there's a respect. Mr. Lego was like, "Oh, I'll take you guys out. I need to take all the ladies out on the panel." He complimented us at the beginning of the show. And I first thing I thought to myself is, I'm gonna have to ask my man, is that okay? Because there's respect. What you say, Lapeef?
That wasn't me. That was Sweeney. He got a soundboard.
Oh, okay, he got one too.
Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
So I just, you respect is a big component. I feel like every man, if you're in a relationship and you want something healthy, you need to respect the man. I feel like a Black man really needs respect in a relationship. That's a major component for a woman to be able to contribute to her man. And that safety that we need. I feel like the Black woman is the most underprotected, human being on this earth. I could be wrong. I'll take that. But there have been times where I have felt so vulnerable, or, where things have happened. But I thank God for there being a man at some point. Men are needed. As much as there can be any type of bashing going on, we need each other. Men need a woman to cover them in ways that mama can't cover you, that only your partner can cover you. And likewise with, women. So I think that's a great component with relationships and valuing safety.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to Casey, and then we'll get to Sweeney. Go ahead, Casey.
Precious switched the word out perfectly for me. It's not safety, it's security, which is interchangeably in the same realm or neighborhood of words, synonyms. But yes, men value respect, and I feel women value that security within a relationship. And that just goes with all aspects of the relationship when it comes to, like Stacey-O is saying, how your man makes you feel, how confident you are, and the trust being there, the protection being there, the fact that he's leading you and the family. I mean, all those aspects of security. And that man needs to feel respected. He needs to feel that when you are away, that you, like, I told Marcus the other day, my husband's last name, right? My husband's last name, my family's last name. Those are two things that I always take with me when I'm out in the world by myself. So that respect, yes, that has to be there in the element of the woman respecting her husband and respecting the relationship. So yeah, I agree with Stacey and Real Precious, but I have to say Black men are not taken care of in this world as well, Stacey. Black men are tossed to the side in grade school. They are ignored. They are completely ignored. When Black women are heard, Black men are not heard. They're silenced as well. So it's really both of us in this world, and we do need each other completely.
All right, hold on. Before I go to Sweeney, I just want to just be respectful. I wanted to get all the women in. Andrea, did you want to add anything? Or
I kind of do, but just want to make sure there's a safe space and we're talking about safety here.
You're safe. You're safe. You're good. You're good. Go ahead. I got you.
I'm just hoping, because I know we're doing, the whole, like, we all need each other kind of things. I'm just wondering if that still applies, if like a person of the opposite sex has an opposing opinion about these type of conversations, even when it comes to like women on women or, you know, whatever. I honestly feel like we're not being honest here with this conversation. I feel like I just feel like we're not really being completely honest with this conversation. I feel like when people have different upbringings or have you know, different lifestyle or something like that, we're not very respectful of each other. We don't make each other feel safe within our own culture. So I think that we need to take off this fake mask that we're putting on right now, making it seem like we all need each other and we love each other. When actuality, a lot of the times if someone doesn't agree with you or come from a different background or just all over different from you, whether they're like even they're in their sexual status, like, or their sexual identity, are we really that respectful of each other? Even when we go outside of actual genders, maybe a person is non-binary or whatever. Like, I'm just speaking just as far as Black people as a whole, are we really respectful and safe with each other? That's what I have to say.
Okay.
Sweeney going next, or I got something to say. Sweeney,
go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Let's let go.
All right, so Sweeney, this ain't for you, but kind of you, and this is an example of not feeling safe, right? On this panel for, you know, as long as I've been on here, Precious, Lady Di, a lot of other women have been on here. I will literally get into it with another guy for them, and it's always been like that because I wanted to make sure, and it's just a part of my personality, that they feel safe in this because you can go viral. You can say something dumb and somebody can say something and correct you and do all this other stuff, and next thing you know, you're a meme, right? And now you're embarrassed, and you know. So I try to make sure women in my vicinity, whether it's on social media, a friend, my lady, my kids, family members, or whatever, that they feel safe. So that's why I would get into it with Sweeney, be like, yo, you just stop it and all this other stuff, because I can see it in a woman's eyes when she feels unsafe. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why Andrea doesn't necessarily want to say anything is because she's worried that after she gets done talking, somebody else is going to come in and say something contrary to what she's saying. And next thing you know, she feels stupid, stepped on, or unheard. And this is a part of why I always say what I say. You know, I'm always the manly person who's going to sit your ass down, be quiet, you need a husband, all these other things right here. Because the thing about it is, sadly, as a single woman, you're never going to feel safe. And the longer you stay single, the longer you're going to think that men are the enemy, because being a single woman, period, is the epitome of not being safe, because you don't supposed to be single. You need a man, you need a husband, you need somebody to cover you. And y'all spend so much time being single, where being unsafe or being in this arena of always going at it with men, it becomes normal. Because in my life, love is safety. It's not all this flowers and bunnies bullshit. It's safety.
Really?
And as long as a woman is not in an environment of just feeling unsafe, she's always going to think men are the problem, because what makes women feel unsafe? Men. But who protects women? Men. So that's the biggest issue. So the longer y'all stay single, the more y'all going to end up hating men, because men are the ones that are hurting y'all, robbing y'all, stealing out of y'all cars, slapping y'all, cheating on y'all. But when you find the right man that doesn't do that shit, you ain't got to deal with it no more. And then you can go on with your life and feeling protected for the rest of your life.
I will say this: none of us is beyond reproach. None of us is beyond criticism. None of us is beyond somebody correcting or having anything to say to us. We have nobody else on this panel has ever been given that level of protection where they can say wild stuff and then somebody responds. Now, I will say this before I get into that. I have done a lot of cutting off today. Because I'm to be real with y'all, I'm very sensitive when it comes to people that tells lies about or they give out misinformation, and I don't tend to like to let people get that type of stuff out. So I will say that. However, nobody is beyond being responded to, especially when they say something wrong. There's no if I say something wrong, I will hope that Trev, Precious, Casey, Stacy, Marcus will come in and be like, nah, bro, you're saying some bullshit right now. That's not true. Here's the data. JR, here's the data on that. The data disagrees with you. You're saying something wrong. We can't keep sitting there if we're going to be on the panel, because then if that's the case, then what's the point of having women on a panel if they cannot be challenged on their ideas?
But did you just see how you just said it, Sweeney? Okay. It was Mr. Let Go, JR, Precious, you're saying something wrong. It's not, what the F are you talking about it? Blase, blase, blah. Like, everybody.
That's me being a character.
Her character could be hurting someone who is trying to heal. So while we're on this panel, that's all gravy and all that, but you don't know where everyone is in their healing journey. Someone can say something to me and it roll off my back because I really don't care, because I've done enough work to actually not care about what other people say. But somebody might not be at that place where they could still be healing, and you could see that they're healing because of the hurt that you can hear from them, and it's the way that you handle them. So I remember the other day someone was like, well, or I was on my live on Instagram and somebody was like, well, you have a responsibility to correct some of these women, but a lot of these women are hurting, and these panels is not the right place to correct them because they still need to be healed. Now, I do believe that women need to be corrected. Of course, we need to be corrected because we have that Eve gene. So we're going to be persuaded. The serpent is going to come in there and continue to tell us that what God told us ain't right. And we more 9 times out of 10, a woman is going to go towards that bad, wrong path, right? But they need a group of people who is going to protect, who is going to have security with them, because they're just fragile. And these panels are not for fragile people whatsoever.
So with that being said, then the person who cannot be corrected on a public platform, even though they may be saying something wrong on a public platform, shouldn't be on a public platform. Not to say
something wrong, or is it or are they still in their healing process and where they don't know what's right yet?
I would argue that they do know exactly what they're saying.
I
hold on real quick, because we always try to scapegoat people when they come on here and they say wild shit. When they come on here and they be disrespectful.
But do you know her? Let's start there. Do you know her personally, Sweeney?
I don't have to know someone to see them doing something publicly and it be wrong. You don't have to know a person when you see their behavior and they're doing something wrong or they're saying something wrong. You can't do wrong in public.
You don't know the root of her behavior. You see her on a panel and you hear what she has to say, and we come on here week after week, but you don't know what the root of it is. Just like I don't know what the root of it is.
So basically what we're supposed to do is let people come out and speak their shit and just let them say it, because we don't know them.
No, I think that some people have a different eye and can see certain things, and certain people have a different ear and can hear differently. And so when you can't hear from a healed place, then you're gonna hear from a hurt place. And so when people are hurting, right, they're not really taking in a healing unless someone is sitting down to help them nurture their wound. Unless someone actually sitting down, and she said that she's in therapy, right? We went through this already, I think last week. But my thing is, I'm not saying to excuse bad behavior or excuse obscene things. But what I'm saying is, you don't know anyone to actually try to correct them in a certain type of way. It's a way that you handle someone who is still healing. And so when I see that,
hold tight, y'all,
that's
hold
why I
tight.
take a step back, because I don't want to add to somebody else still hurting and they not healing. I don't want to add to that.
Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Andrea would want to respond, and then we get Jasmine in there. Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay, so here's the thing. We all have different views about each topic. There are so many different layers to each topic that we discuss, and there's so many different viewpoints, whether it comes from our walk of life or whatever we've been through, because we're all hurting. So let's not sit up here and just act like we all haven't dealt with our own personal traumas. They may just be different than what mine has been or what the next person has been. I also believe that when we're talking about these discussions, right and wrong is subjective. There's no right, there's no wrong. I can find supporting evidence to back up what I'm saying, and I'm sure if you did the research, you can find the evidence to back up what you're saying. So to me, right and wrong is subjective. It doesn't mean that I'm hurting or I'm coming from or like I'm some type of a charity case. I encourage therapy for everybody because we all have things that we're dealing with. I just feel like when it comes, I feel like if we have our own personal vulnerabilities that become triggers for us, it's not okay for us to lash out and put this title and this label on somebody because we're disagreeing with what they're saying. Your word doesn't make your words aren't as righteous as mine, and I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm right about every single thing. But what I am saying is that we can't sit up on here talking about safety and respect when we don't even respect and be safe with each other that has a differing view. That's all that I'm saying. If my view is different than yours and you don't like that, you don't have to attack me personally because of it, and I don't have to be a hurting victim because I see things differently.
So I just want to say this, JR. I just want to say one thing.
Hold on. Let go. Hold it real tight. Let me just get to Jasmine. I'm trying to. Jasmine.
Okay.
This is my first time on here, so I'm not, privy to any previous conversations y'all have had. But just from looking in today and everything, it does seem like there's a lot of, I guess, tension and just for, I get what Precious was trying to say, but the way you're saying it could really come off like you kind of agree with Sweeney, like there's something wrong with her, or like she has some type of trauma. And we don't want to subscribe to that behavior, like, because that makes it seem like we know her and we know she's going through something. That's why she's saying the things. I think she just has different opinions. Just like I know a lot of very strong, opinionated people that I wouldn't say they're hurting. That's just the way they were raised. That's the way they look at things. And that's just, and I've been to college with a lot of different people that have a lot of different opinions. So it's just, they don't mean they're hurting. That's just the way they see things. And that's something that's triggering for me too. I don't like when someone makes me, like when someone just subscribes to like, oh, the reason why she's doing this is because of this. And I'm like, no, that's not why I'm doing this. That's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying it because this is how I feel about it. This is the way. And yes, it could be a sum of experiences that's making me think this thing, but that's still not for someone to diagnose and come on me with, because then that can make the person still feel unsafe in the space and not want to say anything going forward.
And this is why I wanted to say something real quick. In my opinion, Andrea just be trolling, right? I don't think she believes some of the things she says. So with all that being said, y'all got to understand we're on a show. And I talked Trail about this. We all are different personalities on this show. And JR brings on certain personalities in order for those personalities to interact with each other. Now, we get a whole bunch of Preciouses on here, it would be one way. We get a whole bunch of Marcuses on here, it'd be another way. We got to have conflicting viewpoints. And we have to make sure each person on the show is safe within their own skin to share their viewpoint. And that's the thing that I was saying to Sweeney, just chill out. Like stop trying to correct the woman on, like Paris as an example. When Paris be going at it with people, I don't run in. I might be like, shut up, stop, because they be going too crazy. But I would DM Paris and be like, Paris, is there a reason why you did it? And we'll have a conversation offline. So if you want to help somebody, if you want to correct somebody, the number one way to do it is send them a DM and be like, yo, do you really think like this? get to know the other person that's on the panel. And that's the way you can either correct them or make them feel safe. But calling them you're a misandrist and or getting all extra and you serious, because when I be going off on folks, I just be playing.
Mr. Lego,
You
just because you're not serious, you don't know Andrea. You can ask her if she's trolling. How you gonna assume that she's trolling?
That's not the point.
So, but
how about you ask her if she's trolling?
I'm not the one that's saying that she's trolling.
I'm just having a sir.
So don't say don't say what she's doing.
Seriously is the actual problem, and you refuse to listen.
So these aren't serious panels. We don't have serious conversations up here.
How many times have you heard somebody in the chat say something about buying some damn tires, eating ass?
What does that have to do with what I just said?
But everybody not on here joking. Everybody not on here joking.
Not everybody's playing around. Not everybody's just joking all the time.
Well, that's the problem.
Okay,
we're on a show
to
entertain the people.
So I appreciate what Andrea actually said when she said not everybody is hurting, but that doesn't mean that what she just said just pretty much negated everything that y'all said. She's saying what she's saying because that's how she feels and that's what she wants to say. She's not hurting. She's not hurting. She's not trolling. She feels that way, just like I don't troll when I feel something.
When I feel that way.
Okay, but the thing is, I'm just as entitled to counteract it. I'm not
counteracting and arguing is different. Stop arguing with a damn woman, bro. That shit look crazy.
So we're on a panel. We can have a discussion with women now. Then we might as well kick all the women out. That's what we were having. Just because it seems like you have arguments all the time.
Ask Andrea, is it a discussion or is it attacking her?
Ask Andrea.
I felt attacked.
If she's trolling.
Ask her.
I felt attacked.
Thank you.
Well,
ask
I'm
the
sorry
damn
that
woman.
Andrea, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all, but you dish it out, dude. Like,
please
you really
don't talk
dish
to me.
it out.
Don't talk to me.
Exactly. Here we go.
You dish it out. Like, you literally told me a couple weeks ago that I was unhappy.
Here we go.
That I was unhappy with my life. I hated my life. This is where
we worked it out. So why are you making it relevant now?
No, what I'm saying is
we talked about it and we worked it out. Don't make it relevant now. You're not involved in this conversation, so stay out of it.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Andrea, what I'm saying is that
I don't want to hear nothing.
I haven't been here. I'm not talking. I wasn't addressing.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
You see what I'm
God
saying?
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the
All I'm
things
saying
I
is, y'all, like, y'all can't call
right
Sweetie out. Like, he just
God,
this
God
evil
grant me
devil
the-
and
God-
Andrea is
Hold on, ladies. Marcus, go ahead, Marcus.
You have a bias
Hold on.
against me.
Andrea,
Andrea, I don't have a bias against you.
Andrea.
I don't have a bias
Andrea,
against you.
grant me the
I don't have a
serenity.
bias
Hold on.
God grant.
Let go.
Mr. Lego, can you stop doing that?
Can y'all
God
shut
grant
up?
me
Go
the-
ahead, Marcus.
God,
You talked
God
for
grant me
30
the-
minutes and nobody
God
said
grant me
anything.
the-
I'm just
God-
stating my
God,
point.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I say it one more time. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We got to know the difference and accept things that are different.
Thank you.
Amen.
Y'all understood what he
How does
just
that
said.
apply to anything that you just said, Mr. Lego? Because again, I've even said, because you keep saying that I'm trying to correct her. I never once try to correct Andrea on anything that she feels. However, I will, if she says anything that goes against what is actually reality, I'm going to speak against it, because if we just let her, and I'm not even going to, let me take this away from her.
She's on a show.
Take this away from Andrea.
JR is letting her.
Bro,
She's on the show.
just because somebody says something doesn't mean it has to go unchallenged. For example, if anybody on this panel was to say something that is inherently wrong, and me to say that's wrong, this is how it's wrong, I've done that plenty of times. There's nothing wrong with that. All right,
you don't see the
all right.
the
So
extra
and then also, if somebody does something that actually has a definite, and I get it, man, you already had this conversation, bro, about when, because I called somebody else a misandrist and you said the same thing. We already been here. However, that did not change. I even told you then, that's never going to stop me from calling out what something is. A dog is a dog is a dog is a dog, just like a cat is a cat. So if a misandrist is being a misandrist, if you display misandrist behavior, just like when that short, y'all remember that episode when old boy came up here and JR let him up here, and he was all and like he was going in, and we kept looking at like, hey, no, bro, you tripping. And people called him misogynist on the show.
Sweeney, my question is one thing. Do you not think a cat nose is a cat or a dog nose is a dog? Calling a dog a dog or calling a cat, what's the purpose in that?
Again,
And that's what Pressure was saying.
Wait.
What is the purpose of you calling a cat a cat?
Again, you are assuming. Do you know that most people don't even know the definition of a misandrist?
Bro, can we just move on?
No, because you're trying to ask me something. Do you even know that most people?
Do you realize we're on a show? It's a show.
No shit, Sherlock.
God damn,
no
bro.
shit, Sherlock. However, because most people don't know what a misandrist is and they don't know how to identify one, when somebody displays that thing, you can say, hey, this is what a misandrist looks like. When they do this, when they exhibit these particular behaviors. Now, this is just because we were talking about that. However, I don't understand why you feel the need to just let people just say whatever they want to say, and then nobody's supposed to be able to challenge that idea. Nobody's supposed to be able to speak against that idea.
I can answer that. I'm on another show. Okay, so I deal with the same things on that show. I'm on tonight's conversation. Okay, and the thing about it is, everybody plays a role. Sometimes the other person may be trolling the other person, and then we get offset and we go out to eat and hang out with no problem, and we protect each other on the stage and off stage. It's what you're supposed to do when you're on a show. So I'm not saying I'm better than somebody because I'm on tonight's conversation, but I've been doing this long enough to know when somebody is just trolling and just having fun or saying some extra shit in order to spark engagement, bro.
So,
like,
I got a quick different impression.
Let me say something real quick, Marcus, and I'm gonna just shut up and let you go. I feel like the one of the things that I heard you just say was that's not the reality of the situation. I need you to understand that your perception of your reality is going to be completely different because you've walked a different life and you see life through your own your own lens, your own rose-colored glasses. I see things based on my experiences and I see things based on my perception of reality. I feel like a lot of us on these panels, especially like now, we all have different views, and you guys come on here, and I feel like for me, when I see and I'm discussing these type of topics with you all, some of y'all live in a bubble. Like, I feel like y'all live in a very, very tight bubble where marriage and and I don't have a problem with that, but you have to be able to recognize that people are going to see things that are non-traditional. That's just it. This is the 20. No, because we're living in a new age where you have to live outside of tradition. Everyone is not going to be the same. Everyone just doesn't decide. Like, people wake up, you guys wake up and decide, hey, I want to be a professional dancer. Hey, I want to be a post office worker. Hey, I want to do this, that, and first. Some people decide they want to be in the sex industry. Are you ready to have a conversation with someone who sees things differently than you? Some people decide to live a non-conventional lifestyle. Some people decide to be unorthodox. Are you ready? Do you have the equipment to handle those type of discussions? It's a difference between challenging someone and their viewpoints and attacking them because you don't like them personally because what they have to say.
So how did I attack you?
Oh my God!
Personally, that's
how?
it.
What did I say about how did I attack you personally?
I don't have to validate that. I'm telling you.
All right, so I didn't attack you personally.
Men value respect and women value safety.
The topic, y'all. Fuck.
I just wanted to add this one thing. So maybe like just to add a different perspective, Sweeney, right? If the views that I guess most of us will hold, right? To her point, the views most of us heard, if we went on, let's say another panel where it was the complete opposite, like the young lady who was on that 1 week, Miss Clark, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know, well,
just move on.
Yeah. So if we were espousing views about men and women being in relationships and 95% of that chat disagrees with that viewpoint that men and women should be in relationships and believe women and women should be in relationships, I would hope that they would give us the chance to just say our piece and disagree however they want to disagree after we said our piece. That's the only thing I was trying to get through. Because if she has a different viewpoint, it's got to be courageous to come in a group of people who don't believe what you believe and then speak your piece and try and get it out without getting attacked by the crowd, without getting attacked by people on the panel. And we want to keep people like that coming back where you have a difference of agreement so we can have those things to foster a better conversation. And it's not an admonishment of you in any way. It's just to, like, in general for us all. Like what I just try and do is let everybody finish their statement, and then the parts I specifically disagree with within their point, I'll address those points. And then I also got to understand that we're gonna have to agree to disagree on some things, because I can't change people's perception sometimes if I don't have enough influence or leverage over that person. All I can do is present my information, and maybe they take something from it now, maybe they don't. But I found that by asking people questions, as opposed to making direct demanded statements at them, you have a much better chance of at least influencing a different thought process. If you were in the realm of trying to encourage somebody to move in it in a way you thought was better or worse in any way. You know what I'm saying?
Fair. However, I ask more questions than anybody on this panel. I ask more clarifying questions than anybody. And I'm sorry, when somebody gets on a panel and says men don't get therapy, women get more therapy than men, and that's inherently factually false, I'm going to speak out against that. When somebody comes on the panel and says men are criminals, and then I ask the question, so are you going to sit here and say that majority of men are criminals?
Never said that.
I'm not talking about you. They're talking about the things that we're not on you, Andrea. And when somebody gets on the panel and says men are criminals, and I ask, are you saying the majority of men are criminals? And then they say yes, that's inherently false. So I get to say, no, you're wrong. That's false. That isn't your ideology. That isn't your perception. That's you just being wrong.
But Sweeney, you just bring up the 25% of women get therapy. That was brilliant. You don't run around like you're a misandrist. Just hit her with a
hold on, wait, Mr. Let Go.
Mr.
Let Go.
And then keep
Mr.
it
Let Go.
moving.
Mr. Let Go. First
You
of
were
all,
brilliant
hold on,
when you
wait,
said
Mr.
that
Let
last
Go.
week.
Mr. Let Go.
It was dope.
Mr. Let Go. First, bro, chill on that. Because I did ask a bunch of clarifying questions to determine whether something like I even gave the definition of what a misandrist was.
Do you see the difference between what you did last week, which was brilliant, and this, which is a problem? That's all I'm asking. Do you see it?
I don't find it being a problem.
But just understand that there's something that you don't see, and it's a problem. That's all I'm saying. That's all of us are saying.
Wait, how do we can sit here and say that everybody can have a different perspective, but then when I say that I have a perspective on a particular person,
debate the perspective and don't argue it. It's a difference.
All right. So if I have a perspective and I say that somebody's a misandrist, you shouldn't argue it, right?
Well,
or do you have the right to argue it?
That's an argument and not a debate.
Everything I said, you were cutting me off. Anything that I said, you were bringing up irrelevant topics and irrelevant discussions from last week. Anything that I said,
how is that irrelevant? How is what I said?
JR, hold on. See, look at you now. Even JR had to stop cutting me off. Like he's been telling you that this whole night to let me finish my statement, and you can't even do that. So it's a personal specific thing against me. So when you start dropping stuff and you're saying you're saying stuff like when someone says all men are criminals, like if we're discussing the fact that I felt personally attacked by you, don't start saying stuff and sprinkling a little bit on it to give off a certain impression if I said that. That's not relevant to this conversation.
Well, my behavior was the topic of discussion, so it had nothing to do with
don't bring up stuff.
So when I brought up the conversation about somebody calling all men criminals, it was directly to explain my behavior. It had nothing to do with you since you want to feel attacked.
Sweeney,
nobody attacked.
Let him get his point out, y'all. Y'all have to let him get his point out. Y'all gotta let Sweeney get his point out. Let him get his point out.
So when I brought that up, it was because they were discussing what I do on the panel. It wasn't about you at that point. It was not about you. So don't look at it as me attacking you because I brought up a scenario for which I called out a specific behavior. Yes, you may have had things that you said that I have called out, but there's things that Let Go have said that I've called out. There's things that Casey may have said that I've called out. Things that Precious, Trev, JR done said some things that I've called out, and I said, bro, that's simply not true.
Sweeney, let me ask you a question. Just a question. If you call Precious a crazy name, do you think I'm gonna go the fuck off on you? Yes or no?
Yeah, but just you. I'm
saying.
But I've never had a problem with you doing that.
So when you got a new person that is coming on the show, like Jasmine ain't never been here, right? Andrea just came on here. Like, give these people grace and let them have their different point of view instead of going off on them. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Just to let
That's
go. How
all
many
I'm
people
saying.
have you
If
given
you
grace?
won't do Precious that way, why would you do Andrea that way? That's all I'm
Just
saying.
to let
just
go.
so y'all,
Just to let, just to let go. It's disingenuous for you to say that
just
because
so
you
y'all,
know it's
hold on,
disingenuous.
hold on. Hey.
It's,
Hold on.
Can
Trey,
we
you got
move
something you want to add
on,
on?
bro? Shit.
You got something you want to add on to it, Trey?
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going to beat this point up right here because Sweeney is definitely 10 toes down with his stance. So we're gonna leave that alone. I did want to get back to the top if I can remember it a little bit. So security, or like Precious was saying, instead of safety, I think was appropriate. And respect are directly intertwined, right? So I feel like if women, or let's start with men, let's say men, you lose the respect for your man, right? My personal belief is that a woman can't actually love you if she doesn't respect you, right? If she doesn't respect you, that's a bad thing. So if she loses her security or safety, then she will lose respect for you, right? If you can't make her feel safe, whether it be financially, whether it be emotionally, right? Or just physically, where she understands that you can protect her, you can't make her feel safe, then yes, she's going to lose respect for you. But on the other side of things, if you lose respect for him, then you may also very likely lose your security, because humans in general, or men specifically, we protect what it is that we cherish. And a man will no longer cherish you if he feels like you don't respect him anymore, because your interactions with him are going to be very different if you don't respect him. There's certain things that you won't provide if you are not a respectful, loving wife. So he won't cherish you anymore, and he won't care to protect you. And so it's an awful thing. If you lose either or, you're going to lose both.
All right. Everybody spoke on this topic?
I did.
No, I ain't answering.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and speak on this topic, Sweeney, and then Marcus.
Well, I did have a question for the ladies in regards to that, because we already know it's safe to assume that men do value respect, right? So that's safe to assume. However, I did have a question for the ladies. Do y'all believe that women value would place one form of safety above other forms of safety to the detriment of herself?
Can you elaborate?
For example, damn, I don't want to say it, but a woman would value financial stability and security over her own safety within a relationship, if y'all can read between the lines.
I mean, we
I'm
see it a
confused.
lot, but I mean, I get what he's saying. He's saying like a woman will stay in a relationship that's like abusive just because it's financially that type of thing. But I see what you're saying, but I would just disagree. And just for me, I can't speak for all women. Just for me, I would not want to stay in an unsafe situation. I'd rather him make $2 and treat me right than to, be in a Cassie Diddy situation, allegedly.
State the question again, Sweeney, please.
Do you think that oftentimes that women will place one form of safety or stability over another form that to her own detriment a lot of the times?
For some women, it'll always be the financial. That's why you have women who have OnlyFans. You have women who got feet pics. Like it'll always, the mighty dollar will always outweigh the man when you don't find the significance in the actual being of man, and you just find the significance in his money and the status that he can provide for you. But like Jasmine was saying, I would rather take the man over the money, because the money comes and goes, but the man is one of a kind. And so when he come and go, then what?
Honestly, a lot of women are on OnlyFans because being in a relationship that is, like that and staying for money. Now they got OnlyFans. They like, I'd rather just do that and be embarrassed, at work or whatever, versus being over here with this dude and being embarrassed at work because I got a black eye. So it's almost like one devil is better than the other one, sadly.
They would rather deal with the internal shame of putting their body out there rather than the external shame of maybe not getting it right with a man, or that man treating them wrong and they have to, then defend their decision. It's easier to say, you know what, I chose OnlyFans. So if OnlyFans leave me, I have nobody else to blame but myself. And that's an internal thing. So they don't really have to share that with anybody else, really, if they really didn't want to.
And that's what's sad.
Casey, what you think?
No, I completely agree with Precious. People, pick and choose within relationships what they're going to kind of deal with and what they're going to put up with. A lot of women will choose those finances over the security of a man not cheating all over them as well. They're like, oh, I'm comfortable in this big house, so he can go do what he does, right? And not feel any security sexually or with other women, calling their phone, different things like that. They feel like they're going to hold their position and not let somebody take their spot, right? So I think women do pick and choose sometimes what part of safety or what part of security that they hold on tight to. And sometimes they may let other ones go down.
All right, go ahead, Marcus. I know you get a chance to answer.
So we when we was talking about this on King Talk last week, I believe, we had the conversation about whether women value connections or not, and would they stay in a relationship if it was financially beneficial to them versus having a connection. Well, to summarize it, that my statement was that y'all can tell me if y'all disagree with this or not, right? My statement was that women have a metric of things they want, right, within a man. One of those things would be to have a connection with, like how Stacey or Casey talks about their relationship with they men, right? And if you did not have that relationship in return, then the biggest factor would then be, what could it be? How could it be beneficial to me? So I think when we talk about how relationships break down with the value of safety, like women, they prioritize safety in a lot of different ways, and it's not just financial, and it's not always just protection. So when I was speaking to the connection, that was one of the things that actually equates to safety in a woman's mind, because you used the word consistency earlier, which was kind of key. That is a form of a connection when you have consistent communication, consistent affection, consistent emotion flowing back between y'all. So that can foster that type of connection. When respect is lost for a man, it tends to manifest itself in disrespect, anger, and him to feel what he will internalize as not being loved. And when a man loves and respects women, he tries to keep her safe in all those ways that I listed before. I think we experience each other in different ways. Sometimes it's best to understand that if somebody is genuinely trying to be there for you, or genuinely trying to reach out and help you, or genuinely trying to make things better for you in your life, that we should give them some leeway and understand that the perspective that they're hearing things from and the perspective that you're saying them from are two totally different things. And we have to attempt to try and meet each other in the middle so that we can push forward in a more amicable way. And I think that would cut down on breakups, divorces, and some of the anger that we have. You just gotta remember at all times, a lot of times, the things the worst things that you're going through with somebody, typically it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's something that they're dealing with, and then it manifests itself externally. And that's how people interpret information and give information. So just try and give people grace to understand that you don't know somebody else's struggle. You don't know somebody else's strengths. And just try and make sure your struggle and strengths are balanced to the point where you don't offend other people in your pursuit of whatever it is you're trying to get to. That's all I have to say.
All right. There you go, man. Good way to close this on out, man. Let me get to these super chats. Devin Braxton, you can only provide covering for those who respect you. Can't find someone when you don't respect them as a whole. A prestigious. Femi, $10. Salute to you. Femi, get $5. The problem with this show is y'all need to know what you want it to be, serious or just entertaining. Announce the color and stick with it. Devin, again, $5 says, would you guys really allow someone to come on this panel and say all Black people are bad? So why not call out prestigious displayed in this case? Congo English, $5. Sweeney, thank you. Keep going. Big Dan, $10 says, life tells me that Andrea wouldn't speak to Casey like that face to face, real childish to hold one to standards you yourself can't keep. And then lastly, Ronnie 499 says, once I find me a precious, I'm gonna sit my ass down. All right, salute to everybody, man. Great show. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure we support each other. Everybody has some amazing things going on, so hit them up on AIG. Watch the YouTube channels and whatever fantastic things they got going. Let's make sure we support each other. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in tonight. Another bang in the books. HR will probably be hitting me up tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some investigation.
Hey, Jay, I got one more thing to say real quick.
I'm afraid
It's lighthearted. It's lighthearted.
All right.
Andrea, you are not the only person that I've. There's been plenty. Hold on, wait. I just want to let you know. It's no hard feelings. Hold on, wait. It's no hard feelings. Mr. Lego has been on the receiving end of the man. What the fuck is this nigga talking about? It's not just you.
No, it was just me. It was just me.
It's not just you. I promise you.
Chill out.
And I will talk to her like that face to face. Yes, I
I want to say thank y'all. Appreciate all the support. Wow.
Unfucking believable.